someone builds, someone else will trade based off of. And I think, builders such as yourself that are, building something that brings real value to the market, I think that will direct capital in a much better direction. At the end of the day, like, degens will degen, right? In the meantime, but I think eventually capital will follow the right builders, and I think you're one of them. So I wanted to get your take because I wanted to get that on the record.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
What are your thoughts around the AI doomer take, where AI is taking all our jobs, and you're going to invest in Anthropic at trillions, and it's like, where's the hope?
I don't think it's a correct take. To be honest, I thought a bit about it. It's just viewing AI as kind of this isolated environment of kind of replacing white collar jobs. But there's so much more job replacement going on than just white collar jobs. If we're looking into robotics, which is kind of unexplored completely inside that thesis that Citrini published, it's all of this kind of, I mean, if we look at like the early articles of Sam Altman or even Peter Thiel, like what they spoke about a lot about UBI and just these offsets to the kind of narrative that Citrini is writing. I think they will be real. Maybe UBI won't be like ever something real, but like something which is a bit similar. Sam Altman wouldn't have deployed WorldCoin and wouldn't spend resources on it as well if he didn't believe that this would probably be a future we're looking into. I do agree that it's a tail risk. And we should, as a founder or as a serious capital allocator, you should spend a lot of time worrying about tail risks. But setting that up as kind of the base assumption is unproductive in a market which rewards being bullish.
Yeah. And you have a robotics launch on your platform, OpenDroids. Can you talk a bit about that launch? I don't think many people know about this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a robotics company out of San Francisco. They already have kind of LOIs over 8 figures ready, and it's one of the coolest founders that I've ever met. We're currently in the process of getting like the right platform to launch them on. That will probably take a bit more time. And initially, we wanted to launch them as kind of the first company, but we want to make sure that the platform they're launching onto is the right platform, and we need to speak to more launchpads on that. But yeah, they're doing awesome stuff. I'm really excited about what the founder is called CheckJ, what he's doing. I'm gonna have an interview or just like some media resource with him as well pretty soon, so people
nice.
can
understand more. The right launchpad. So they're, for this case specifically where they don't have a token already, they're using ERCS as a legal standard, the SPV, but then they're actually mechanically putting the token out somewhere else. Can you maybe just work through how that works?
Yeah, so they want to raise a bit of capital for their token, and that is fine with us. We have the regulatory positioning now, and our own policy. People are saying that's okay. So yeah, we're just like looking for the right platform right now where they can raise some capital. And yeah, that's kind of it. After that, the token will be live, and you will be able to speculate on it.
Nice. At 8-figure market cap is what you mentioned, I think, roughly.
No, 8-figure LOIs. They have 8 figures of pre-orders.
Yeah.
Oh, pre-orders for their product? Wow. Okay, that's amazing. Good for them. Okay, cool. Yeah. And so timing on this one, maybe any potential time? You think is this like a Q2, Q3?
Everything. I'm trying my best to make it Q early Q2. Again, I'm working as hard as possible to make everything happen as soon as possible, but I don't want to give timelines where I'm just unable to meet that expectation. I think I learned my lesson here with Class that I thought we were gonna be finished with this end of January, and we had to do so much legal plumbing work that it took us now until like start of March. So I learned my lesson there. I'm not gonna give out too quick timelines anymore.
Yeah, and this will be one of the first physical robotics companies on chain that is kind of investable. We've seen some small projects and then a lot of software-based ones, but nothing physical robotics is difficult. So that's why this is really exciting.
Cool. I guess the question that I had as well, just thinking a little bit about tokens that are already launched, but like are looking to incorporate the ERCS standard, like a CLED or an Orgo. We're seeing kind of the market, obviously, like you mentioned earlier, a founder like Spencer or a founder like Avi, great founders, great products. But what we're noticing is that traders in the market aren't really like picking up on, how undervalued these things are. I mean, if some of the things that Avi mentioned that he had in the pipeline, he already had, partnerships and things of that nature back in like a 2020 or 2017 style market. Some of these things would have already been picked up, a long time ago. What do you think is the disconnect in the market, and like how do you think ERCS addresses that?
I mean, yeah, being honest, we can magically get the same liquidity as we got in 2022. ERCS won't just attract the same, like 100%. There's a big underlying problem that the liquidity is just so thin and everybody's getting rinsed out by like certain protocol that is taking everybody's money with their kind of inherently evil design. So we can't magically change that. I think since we're focusing on serious capital allocators, which are investing in these assets for a long term and are patient about the project's progress. Also, we are very disciplined with the way we launch these tokens, where founders are not just distributing all their supply to random people, essentially. I think that can move the needle to some degree, but like it will take time. I think ERCS or Street is the most likely igniter of something like this kind of 2022 altcoin season, just because crypto has never had something where liquidity got kind of given back to the market. That is something completely novel. Kind of the liquidity for a lot of these $100 million assets is just 5 million, 3 million. Like there's 3 million in buy-side liquidity. So yeah, this is something pretty novel, and I think we are probably the most likely case of this of like I guess a more thick liquidity season coming in case one of these companies gets acquired.
And on that acquired, can you just walk through like the acquisition process? And then there was also a question about like what percentage of equities should be allocated to something like this. And excuse me, my voice is struggling here, but yeah.
So for the acquisition, give me 1 second. I have to get my charger, but I'm gonna continue talking. So
yeah, no worries.
An acquisition process is pretty similar to how it is right now. A company gets acquired, the SPV has a certain amount of percentage of that equity, and then the token holders can they receive, the SPV receives the pro rata amount of that acquisition, and then the token holders can direct the kind of monetary flows inside the SPV. The money is sticky; it never leaves the SPV unless the token holders explicitly wanted to leave the SPV, which is an important thing. And yeah, it doesn't really change, like especially what's especially important here, it doesn't change any way how an acquirer interacts with a startup. And because if it did, then a lot of acquisitions or M&A would just be off the table in case the token holders have a lot of power over an M&A event. And the founder never really has to worry about token holders doing something.
There was a question here in chat, a few of them, just about like how markets will kind of like price these things. Like Crypto Jones here, he says, what happens with the token if a startup is acquired? But does the token reprice to the valuation of the acquisition? He also asked another question as well about how markets will kind of like price these assets in real time. Just let me know if I'm thinking about this correctly. You guys are more so reaching out to these kind of like, I would call it like patient structural capital. That is here for the long term. They come with size, and they're willing to buy an asset of high quality. So are you kind of thinking that the market will just have to kind of digest what that capital is, what their goals are? I feel like mercenary capital exists on chain a lot of times. We're not used to patient capital. So do you feel like the market will just kind of digest who's buying this themselves and just kind of come up with their own sort of standard as far as how they buy and sell, and would different trends kind of be created from that?
Yeah, so I think it's very important for the market to figure themselves out how to price these assets. I think in any emerging market, that's like if we look historically at like new markets or new capital frontiers that opened, there always had to be kind of like, if you look at this like from a macro angle, like obviously there are like policymakers who are like saying like if a certain asset is like they seem it as too hot or too overvalued, and that they tell like people, hey, calm down, like this is like looking like a bubble. But if we're looking at this from like a historical lens, like nobody ever gave a fuck what the policymakers said, and nobody will ever care about what Street kind of is saying. So I don't want to give like a pricing guide out how to price
100%.
this asset. I think it would be very unnatural to do that.
100%.
People will learn. I think it's natural that some people will make money, some people will lose money. It's trading. It's not giving, like, I'm not giving you guys free money. Like it's still trading. You still have to make your own decisions, and I feel like the market will figure that eventually out. And yeah, I mean,
100%.
It's not like it's not like everybody is like so stupid they can't figure it out themselves. I think a lot of the current pricing is pretty decent. Like it's not on the way on the top, and it's also not like way on a discount.
Right. Yeah. I ask these questions because sometimes it might seem like, maybe obvious of a question to ask, or perhaps even redundant, but just going along with that same approach of setting the right expectations for the market. So that way, people, especially the audience watching the show now, they're not just like running away with these like crazy ideas, but really just kind of bringing everyone down to earth here a little bit. But one question that came up as well was the street points. What's any updates there?
Yeah, you will get a way how to consistently farm them pretty soon. So yeah, that's kind of the only update I can give here. Like obviously we're not looking to tokenize anytime soon. Just won't happen. I don't feel comfortable right now doing it. I feel like we have a way, like we'll definitely tokenize in the future. Our framework demands us to tokenize eventually, but when it will happen, I want to be as comfortable as possible and positioned as well as possible to do it.
Got it. Got it. Well, we're coming up on an hour here. I don't know, Josh, if you had any questions. We definitely want to respect your time. We know that
just
you're
making sure we
building.
covered all your updates. Is there
Yeah.
anything that we didn't tap into that you want to discuss?
Well, I think we're gonna make a lot of announcements in the next week, anyways. So just keep up to date.
Well, hey, if you want to drop anything else live on MCG, the door is always open, number one. But number two, definitely looking forward to all of those updates. I'll just kind of leave it and just say March is the month to look out for. I won't set any expectations outside of that. But man, this has been an amazing conversation here, Maya. Just kind of thinking back to our first conversation months ago, where I feel like this movement of searching for value within these tokens was just something we started to do. We always wondered about it, but kind of the moving prices never allowed us to really ask the tough questions. But over the course of 2025, those questions started to be asked, and I feel like Street came with many good answers. So man, excited for March, excited for what you guys are going to build. Anything that you want to leave with the people? Anything excited to leave everybody hyped up?
Yeah, I mean, after Belief launch, after this whole kind of story, we tried to figure it out for such a long time. It's definitely not an easy path. It was like a very difficult last few months, but we figured it out now. I'm very confident that our current approach that we have is the right one, and we're seeing it on every side right now. Like we're seeing it on the startup side that they're okay with it. We're seeing it on the legal side that we are speaking to literally the best lawyers in the US who are in security regulations and who are in security laws, who are advising startups, clients that we work with, and who are putting the green light on ERCS. Has been such a difficult but awesome progress to see, which is like now slowly unfolding that we did the right decisions, and that it's looking like we made a product which is able to scale to something crypto really hasn't seen before, that we actually get these really exciting Web2 startups. So I'm obviously bullish on Street, but I think overall we have good odds that we are able to change kind of how on-chain works and how people invest in assets. So while a lot of what I said today is like, I guess a bit pessimistic with like overall the markets, like people are gambling addicted and they will all die. Like there is a light in the end of the tunnel, and I think we are driving slowly but surely towards it, and it's looking like we might be there pretty soon.
Children are turned into mindless vassals who now they look up to some twit instead of looking up to Thomas Jefferson or looking up to Nikola Tesla or looking up to Magellan. I mean, kids, Magellan's a lot cooler than Justin Bieber. He circumnavigated with one ship the entire planet. He was killed by wild natives before they got back to Portugal. And when they got back, there was only...
But why?
22 million in 3 fucking hours!
There is no nobility in poverty. I have been a rich man and I have been a poor man, and I choose rich every fucking time. The real question is this: was all this legal? Absolutely fucking not.
Neither go towards the feeding grounds at the edge of the ice, nor return to the colony. Shortly afterwards, we saw him heading straight towards the mountains, some 70 kilometers away. Dr. Ainley explained that even if he caught him and brought him back to the colony, he would immediately head right back for the mountains. But why?
What's your dream? To go away.
To go away. That's great.
Do you guys want to drink? I don't understand why everybody has to be so judgmental. I understand why mom's judgmental, I think it's because she cares partially. I think it's also partially because everyone else is looking at her like, hey, Cody's just a bum. Cody's this, Cody's that, Cody's this. Cody's me, bro. Let me be me.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're in the clear, baby. You are safe. Zach XPT dropped the bomb. Axiom's the culprit. Lots to talk about. Josh, how are you feeling?
Yeah, good. Axiom is the culprit, guys. Like, this is kind of this is the fuckery that happens in crypto all the time. BD guy looks up the CRM, gets a little curious, checking out some wallets, doing some on-chain sleuthing with a little inside information. Then goes to his boys like, hey guys, here's the info.
Got something.
Get in the bundle. But man, terrible behavior. Like, I don't know. The Axiom founders, like, you guys are running a $300 million business. You guys gotta take care of business. Like, where's the quality of just risk control and stuff like that? I mean, if an exchange got caught doing this, they would be sued for sure by the government, and there might still be an investigation here. This is definitely a significant one. And it's not like there's receipts. The guy did video recordings. He's recorded on video saying this stuff. Like, this is brutal. I mean, 200K is not like crazy amount of money compared to the grift we've seen in crypto, but still, it's
dude. I think Axiom, the only way for them to save face is like getting this guy locked up. Frankly, like I think they even mentioned something about going to the New York Police Department, or maybe not New York Police Department, but somewhere, some police department to like look into charges. And they have to save face. It's funny though. I saw a tweet and like it honestly said it pretty perfectly, I think. And we're gonna go through the Zach XPT tweet, guys, for sure. But let me pull up. Yeah, I got this tweet from Victor right here, and I think it said it pretty perfectly. It said what we're all thinking, right? Oh geez, zooming in. One sec. Yeah. Okay. And so I think Victor said it right. On a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of moral things done in crypto, this is probably a 2. And like, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Zach does his legendary return, drops his teaser post, millions and tens of millions of dollars on poly markets traded, lots of speculation. The guy who allegedly was accused made like 400K inside trading on the poly market, more than he was accused of scamming for. All this hype, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is really bear market activities. Back in the heyday, Zach XPT would be exposing guys for like massive 8-figure licks, right?
Yeah.
And it's like now it's 200K.
But I saw he was retained. So I'm wondering if this is a sponsored investigation, kind of in the same way you sponsor, a stream. So I don't know if it's a competitor that came out and did this, that maybe got whiff of this. I just think this is hilarious.
Is that the play though, dude? Is that like if I'm FOMO, right? If I'm FOMO and Axiom's kind of leading the pack, and I'm like, okay, I want to vamp some of their users. Hey Zach, bro, we got you 100 bands a month to retain you. We got you 100 bands right now to go and find some misconduct. Frankly,
do you remember when CZ did that to FTX? Same situation, right? But like 1,000 times bigger, obviously. So, yeah, I mean, this stuff kind of happens. I think CZ even, there was rumors he tried to do this with Hyperliquid in terms of trying to get Hyperliquid to blow up. But yeah, I mean, pretty crazy. Yeah, if you're Axiom, you got to get your act together. And I would work probably with authorities on this one. And yeah, you got to
put out a response. Let me see if I can find that real quick.
Yeah,
I believe they mentioned. Yeah. I mean, what does this mean for your business? It is. I mean, it's a pretty big blow. Detrimental, I'm not sure, but it's a pretty big blow.
Yeah,
let's see.
It is. I mean, it's a trust thing, right? Trading products run on trust. But I don't think it's the end of the world for Axiom.
Yeah, here's their message. And man, if I could have bet on this market, I would have, because it was at 60K views. I would have bet that this did a 10x, and we're pretty much nearing a 10x on the viewer count when I looked at it. But here's what Axiom said 3 hours ago. We're shocked and disappointed to hear that someone on our team abused internal customer support tools to look up user wallets. And I'm not going to lie, bro. When I saw the original tweet from Zach XBT talking about internal databases, I'm like, oh, bro, this is a centralized exchange that is literally internally finding listings, which is happening, by the way. Like, absolutely, is internally finding listings and then front running the listings and then shorting to all shit when they're dumping it, right? And so that's happening. But that's what I was thinking when I saw Zach's post. So this, I think, is kind of like a much lighter sentencing than we expected. We have removed access to the tools and will continue to investigate and hold the offering parties responsible. This does not represent us as a team. We've always tried to put, we'll update on Twitter as we learn more. Okay, they did not mention bringing in authorities. Why did I think I saw that? I don't know.
That's because at the end of Zach's post, he said this is a layup for the Southern District of New York, so at SDNY, because the offending party is based out of New York. And likely there will be a case brought here for sure. This is it's an easy one.
Yeah, it's an easy one.
And it needs to, look, guys, it needs to be prosecuted. This kind of stuff. If we want the stuff to stop, people have to be held to account for these kind of things. So
absolutely. But do you want to? Should we just read through the accusations here? Because I mean,
high level quickly, yeah.
High level, okay. Guys, meet Brooks, okay? Brooks Bonner, one of the multiple Axiom Exchange employees allegedly abusing the lack of access controls for internal tools, okay? So this is Brooks, nothing crazy guy who's got a pretty low profile here. This is his account, whatever. He's the person in question, the perpetrator. Explanation what Axiom is, okay? So Brooks is currently an Axiom senior business developer employee based in New York. And I heard he had a $200,000 salary. So like the amount he made, man, like you would
what are you doing?
Yeah, bro. Like you would sneeze at the amount of money this guy scammed.
You're working right beside the golden goose and you screw it up.
Yeah. So in this clip that's below, which I'm not going to play, Brooks states that he can track any Axiom user via ref code, wallet, or UID, and claims he can find out anything to do with that person. Of course, I'm sure you guys all understand this, but when you put your account, when you sign up for an account and there's a wallet created for you or wallet associated, or you have an ID or a ref code, you can see everything about that profile. And so all this guy would do is he would take a Twitter account, take a name, take a ref code, whatever it was, typically ref codes, and he would see all the connected accounts to it and then use these wallets that he knew were either good traders, insiders, people that are going to pump and dump tokens, and he would find all of them and copy trade them amongst the group. So he would front run basically people using their exit liquidity or their following. Okay, that's how I'm understanding this play here. He also described researching 10 to 20 wallets initially and slowly increasing over time so it doesn't look that suspicious.
Imagine you're vamping you're trying to front run the bundlers, like bro. Just so wild.
It is.
Trying to vamp the scam. Unbelievable. This space is unbelievable.
Unbelievable. So, the group created a Google Sheet. Here you go. You can see the sheet here. Some notable names, Solo XBT. And by the way, these wallets, I'm assuming, are going to be quickly out of commish shortly. Urus, Suppress, Sander, Solo XBT, JRX, Sun, Marcel, Frank, GCR. There's no way this is GCR. I don't believe that, to be honest. But interestingly, they had different descriptions. So like they had active, useless. Josh, can you go over the descriptions that these guys gave if you'd like to, Josh? Or can you see that, or should I zoom in?
No,
I'll zoom in for you.
The descriptions. Sorry. I was
on the right side. You're all good. This is how they were. Of course, this is a spreadsheet with all the wallets, and so it showed the different levels of wallets they had. So you can go ahead and read into those. What do you think this means, Josh?
This is just wallet addresses.
Yeah, but on the D column there, it says like active wallets. Like what does specifically
main wallets, probably side wallets.
What does this mean, Josh?
I don't know. I don't know. Those are coins, probably. Dude, it's just bad behavior. Let's just.
Yeah, no, that is a naughty word that he's using there. But nonetheless, I digress. We keep going. One of the targeted KOs was Marcel, a trader with a poor reputation for using his followers on X and Telegram as exit liquidity. Marcel just caught strays, bro. Imagine Zach XBT reporting on a massive crime and your name's just like dropped in there as just getting shit on. Marcel, a trader with poor reputation for using his followers on X and Telegram as exit liquidity. Man, that's a rough stray to catch. Brooks and Mainwald was identified, blah, blah, blah. Here's all the, tracing everything back as Zach XBD does. What else? Oh, here's him in another call, basically talking about the game plan here. And
yeah, play that. Play that. It's only a minute. Yeah, I can't hear that, unfortunately.
Oh, jeez, man.
Dude, get a new browser, honestly. What?
No, this is a StreamYard thing, bro. Okay, here we go.
Ryan uses the dash for like all sorts of other people, but like they're also. I'll explain the lore. There's a guy named Mystery.
I'll explain the lore.
No, it's crazy, right?
Job. However, they don't think that Gouvenel or Seb can do it, so they spent a lot of time trying to see if they could set it up to where he wouldn't be able to get a job because they don't believe in him. If they're nickel diamond your coins or whatever, I'll get the information and we can obviously determine if they are or if they aren't. And then at that point, you can sit down, you can say, okay, so and so is happening. This makes sense. And then obviously in return, I'm not asking you for money. I'm not asking you for anything to use the most powerful tool in the world. I'm just asking you to make my boy a couple bucks. Which obviously, and then in return, he's obviously building his position at Axiom, building his Twitter. He can start farming, all sorts of different, clout posts and everything. And then eventually he can help you with your coins. He can still help you now, even as he starts to slowly do partner tickets and tickets in general. He'll get to a point where he knows people, and then it'll become.
This guy had the master plan, dude.
Dude, this is just the grift. We got 8 minutes left. I mean, I think everyone gets it. That's just terrible. 10 a.m. slam. Let's get through the other things here before we have Anna coming on.
Sure. 10 a.m. slam, man. I mean, I thought it was gone, dude. Thought James
Bro, the
was
10 a.m. slam is this like an attempt to try and find the liquidation point on Sailor? Is that what we're
No,
doing
I mean
today?
Sailor's liquidation point is 8K. So he's good. He's good.
Okay.
But the 10 a.m. slam is happening. It's commencing, dude. And Jane Street is supposed to be getting hit with getting sued, dude. And they're still slamming our shit. I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, as you can see right here, the 10 a.m. slam commenced as expected, or maybe not as expected for many. What time? It's 12. So that's 2 hours ago. Yeah. So yeah, right around here is when the 10 a.m. slam happened. No, it's slamming, dude. It's slamming. I will say, originally I saw everyone talking about Jane Street, blaming, throwing the blame on James Street. And I'm not going to lie. I was kind of like, guys, this is a bit ridiculous. I mean, we can't just blame Jane Street because the market's been going down. It feels like you're just trying to grab on something and use it as an excuse. Boys, I went off the deep end looking into Jane Street yesterday, reading tweets, taking the pill, dude. I'm not going to lie. It's a little convincing, bro. I read a crazy article, and I'll try to get through it here. We got 5 minutes. There's no way. It's impossible. Oh, did we send out the links to our guests, Josh?
We're good. Yeah, our guests are good.
Okay, sweet.
You know I'm on it always.
Beast. No, you're a beast. Yeah, so I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but I went down the rabbit hole on Jane Street. Man, there's some lore, dude. Founder, firstly, company with no CEO. They got no official CEO. The founder is a dude who has had like 0 photographs taken of him in 25 years. He's got like 1 existing photograph on the internet. It's nuts, dude. This guy is an effective altruist, right? Just like SBF. He personally recruited SBF to Jane Street before FTX, before he went to FTX. And so clearly Sam Bankman-Fried picked up a lot of his traits from this guy. This, I guess acting CEO, acting head of Jane Street, who's the founder, one of the last co-founders, the last co-founder that's still around, loves to go to Burning Man. So he's just a dude that He's just a really, really rich dude that keeps a super low profile, goes to Burning Man, doesn't shower, and goes on benders for weeks, bro. And so this is the guy that's running Jane Street. Apparently, or allegedly, they were also accused of doing the exact same thing they were doing here in the Japanese stock market, I want to say. It's an Asian stock market. I forget exactly which one it is, but they are literally under the knife for the exact same thing right now. They're getting slapped with a case there. Donald Trump company sues them yesterday or today as well. And so the lore is just deep, man. The lore runs really deep. Very shady organization. I think I'm going to put out a video, dude, just because I researched this so much the other day. It's like fascinating.
You should. I think the TLDR here is when the market knows this information, the trade is less likely to be effective. And ideally, this kind of behavior stops. But I read SBF's book, actually, that talked about his time at Jane Street. And yeah, they're cracked. They're actually cracked.
Dude, so they made $10 billion this quarter. They are by far the most profitable trading desk in the world. Like they're outdoing all the other banks, all the other institutions by a quarter mile, bro. $10 billion this quarter. 10 billion. It's insane.
Bloomberg. What's this thing with 30K Bloomberg terminal?
Oh, dude, man. If you guys know about Bloomberg, they've got the infamous Bloomberg terminal. It's $30,000 a year to get. And as AI is doing, bro, one-shotting everything, it just one-shotted the Bloomberg terminal, bro. As you can see here. So
Perplexity terminal.
It's Perplexity terminal. But yeah, one-shotted Bloomberg. I don't know what people are going to do. They are paying $30K a year to get access to this. This is the thing that all the institutions are using, have access to. It's very rare.
Yeah, but okay, this is a great video. Yes, you can rebuild the UI, but what makes the Bloomberg terminal special is the data access, and I don't think you can just integrate the data access to that. So
let's read about it, bro. I'm hearing one-shot allegations, bro. Perplexity just became the first AI, and if it can't now though, like how long before it does? Perplexity just became the first AI company to truly go head-to-head with the Bloomberg terminal. Using Perplexity computer with no local setup or single LLM limitations, it was able to build me a terminal with real-time data to analyze NVIDIA using Perplexity Finance. So yeah, maybe it's still missing some stuff. I'm not quite sure. I don't have Bloomberg terminal.
Yeah, go down that first comment. Where is it pulling the data from? How do you ensure accuracy? Perplexity. Yeah, again, I think there's this data is very closely guarded, and this will be the only moat that these SaaS companies have is their actual data access. Like for instance, Salesforce, they're not going to just let you, migrate your $100,000 seat and take all your data with you and then use your Claude bot Salesforce version, So that'll be the moat. They'll become data API companies. Like Salesforce will be less of a SaaS and more about, here, we'll license you back your own data. So the own your own data thing is done.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's that's like the only sticky thing that these SaaS companies can lean on right now is the switching costs.
Finger, what's up? Good to see you in chat, buddy.
Good to see you, my guy. Trojan right now has a bit of market to take after this Axiom
Trojan,
expose.
Let's go. What's the sitch? We have like 1 minute. I want to get in our last point because we had Maya on from Street yesterday. That was the first clip in the pre-show, and Street is launching next week, guys. Okay, that's what Maya said on stream. So don't get at me in the replies. We don't know who's launching next week. I think we have a pretty good idea. Go back and watch.
I think it's Kled, right? I think they did say Kled's gonna be the first one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he said Kled's gonna be the first one. Push all buttons. Yeah. We used to be in a button clicking market, but these days it's tough button clicking market. So
tough button clicking market.
I actually want to get someone's take on this because I think Anna actually might have a really, really solid take. And Anna, are you with us?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks for coming back.
Yeah, thanks for coming back. I don't know if you have a take on the Jane Street situation or any thoughts. I know you have an institutional background, so feel free to pontificate.
No, I don't have any further inside information, but from Jane Street, like jumps
behavior. I mean, they're all driven by, they're all traders. So if they see inefficiencies, I think they will go exploit that inefficiency, and that's every trader's behavior.
Yeah.
Whether that led to market downturn, I think it's happened every single time. Like Big Short, 2008, every liquidity crisis or crunch, somebody probably thought, okay, we're at the top, it's too much. Let's do something. So
Do
yeah.
do you think Jane Street's like specifically more notorious for doing this, or you just think it just
I think
happened?
everyone's like that. Like at any hedge fund, any quant shop, they would, if they see something, they're the name of the game is like, can you be 51% winning? And if they see something that's 51% probability, they, or like over 50% probability, they would do it.
Is the 10 a.m. slam a real thing, or is that just our kind of mental PTSD?
That I don't know, but there seems like some pattern. Like people say, I think there's been a lot of people trying to rationalize why markets behave a certain way. And a market is like an extremely, it's like entropy, or like how the world works. You really don't know why one atom hit the other atom and why certain things happen. It just happens that way. So there's like a lot of chaos in there. I don't think mature markets are ever like dictated by a single player. You could say there are maybe like 10 groups of highly influential players attempting to manipulate or influence a market, and they might be able to do that to some extent, but it's never like a single player, except for Trump. Is never a single player that's like, I can make the market move to that extent. So yeah, no.
I want to get your take on something else before we get to Perina. There was also this kind of thought out that, now that we have all this institutionalization of like crypto, like Bitcoin, that there's a lot of hypothecation happening, meaning that, the first kind of 5 to 10 years of Bitcoin's existence, like if you wanted exposure, you had to buy the asset spot on chain. But now, because there's, leverage, derivatives, etc., ETFs, that the actual buy pressure isn't ending up in Bitcoin on chain. It's kind of ended up in these other vehicles. Do you think that's a real dynamic? And does that mute Bitcoin's growth, or is it always supposed to be that if you have 100K of exposure, you actually, that should result in 100K of on-chain exposure?
I think it does mute. I don't have statistical data to back this up, but intuitively, I think it mutes the growth of spot assets, and it is true of commodities, of equities, etc. From the spot asset creator or owner's perspective, it's almost the best if you don't have. It's a double-edged sword. Like on one hand, you probably don't want everyone to be buying derivatives. On the other hand, like most of the volume in the world for major assets traded, major liquid assets traded, are in the derivative space. And the derivative space helps maintain price discovery, maintain even price stability. So there are pros and cons. For Bitcoin, as an example, in the beginning, when people were only able to buy raw Bitcoin, to all the way now, you can buy like futures, options, synthetic exposure, rehypothecated exposure, etc. Yes, I think it does change demand.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, no, this is awesome. We appreciate your insights there. Always a
those
pleasure.
are good clips, by the way. Those are great clips.
No, yeah, Anna's like a wizard. Your mind's like a wizard when it comes to this stuff. So, Pine Analytics put out a really nice post showing some visuals and graphics about Perina and your growth recently. It's been impressive, and to say the least, you guys have been doing really well in that aspect. Maybe just walk us through a bit of what you guys have been doing. I want to get your thoughts, most importantly, on the token situation. You guys put out an article, which I thought was really interesting. And I think the main reason I want to speak with you today is just get your general thoughts on, the importance of having a token and where you guys are coming from when you see this. And so maybe we'll start here, actually. You guys said you put out this article. We didn't launch a token. Maybe just walk us through a bit about what you were talking about here.
Our conclusion, to start from the end back into the beginning, our conclusion is that token is an excellent growth tool if used well. and that it is not as excellent of an ownership representation in companies compared to equities for the longevity of an organization. So going back into it, like why launch a token at all? I think we could have probably done without a token had we never launched a points program, had we never gone down the like Web3 native marketing route. We benefited from it, and I still see benefits to the Web3 native. A lot of the things we learned as an industry on how to acquire new users, early users, how to grow. So net, I think it's risky, but it's a risk we're willing to take to have a token that is embedded in the product. Through my research, we did come across a couple of projects that I have a lot of respect for. Backpack, Nexo. Ironically, like I know people give a lot of shit to Binance. BNB as a token structure wise is really quite good. None of these are ownership tokens, but they are, well, Backpack hasn't launched yet, so I don't really know. But BNB and Nexo, which is a European based crypto neobank, they're both like super embedded in the user experience, and the more tokens you hold, generally the more benefits you get, and that's not related to some like hand wavy governance structure. You can kind of think of it as Starbucks rewards or Amex miles. That's another set of case studies I really dug into, was like all those rewards programs. It's very built into Western spending habits, but actually in like around the world, it's not really built in, and it's proven that it's quite effective. So think of like those types of rewards tokens as, excuse me, airline miles or credit card rewards on steroids, or like more embedded. Instead of you just having a balance, that balance can be spent, used, staked, represented somewhere else. I think one thing I wanted to be conscious of is I didn't want to follow the 90% of the project's path of spending a lot of money on a centralized exchange listing and then attempting to be a governance token. I do think a lot of founders started, or founding teams like started with good intention, and then the more you dig into this, it's like it truly is a dark forest, and a lot of times teams might be in a tricky, backed into like a tricky situation, into a corner where maintaining a token, not just launching a token is a ton of work. Maintaining a token is really expensive. So then at that point, your token becomes like a liability, and then people will start thinking about ways of trying to, their options become less and less if that token is not built into the product.
Yeah, what would you say makes a meaningful token implementation or integration? Because I feel like a lot of people try, many fail, and few actually get it right.
Yeah, I think, and this is for our category, it's a blessing because we've seen a lot of these tokens work out well. By working out well, I don't mean that token price necessarily goes up. It could stay flat or even go down. But let's say a lot of liquidity incentives, Athena, Morpho, Camino, those are all examples of tokens that are being built into the product. That really what you want is you want to use token to drive user behavior in a way that gets users to try a new thing and establish a new habit, or you want to drive liquidity / behavior somewhere else to a product that you're like currently focused on. So I think that if you're like, not to pick on anybody, but if you're like MetaMask or Wallet Connect, the purpose of having a token just to have a ticker is less interesting to me than an exchange, a financial use case protocol, or a blockchain where the product heavily includes like using the token to bootstrap and to continue to grow.
Yeah, no, I think it's really interesting. I mean, like, again, it's just constantly going to be a iteration thing. We're going to see a change for a lot of people. Tell me a little bit more about the points program, and if you guys are going to have some sort of network effect to make the token deflationary by nature or anything in that regard.
Yeah, so we ran a total of 3 point seasons of various forms. Some were like extremely short, some were a bit longer. By the end of it, as I mentioned in the article, we took a hard look and we're like, we can't, sorry, Margin Pie, we can't be like Margin Pie for like 2 years. They built a great product, but because of the way, yeah, sorry, Mike Brennan, because of the way they kept like kind of not communicating or postponing, it led to a lot of people having complaints, even though they've benefited from the protocol. And now this token or points is no longer, or is not as effectively serving them for growth anymore. For us, we were thinking, okay, our product launches were slower than we would like. We need to stop this like kind of slow bleed. So what can we do? And essentially what we've done is we stopped the points program as it is. For this current period of time, we don't show users what they're earning. We're still calculating on the back end, but we're turning it into a campaign-based reward. Okay, think about it as like again, exchange like a Binance. You don't earn BNB from just using Binance, but for some of the things you do, you might earn some BNB. Whether it's like, I think if you post on their version of like Twitter or their whatever they call a town hall place, or you go like try some of the new products. So we would do similar things. How to get the token out is a really tricky question. Have thought a lot about between DEX only, Sex and DEX. It depends on the ROI of what kind of cost it would, what it would cost us, and what are the types of users we could reach. So for me, if it means like spending, let's say $3 per user on customer acquisition cost, such that they for sure know about Piranha, at least check out our website and like say watch a video. That's useful for me because we now have a compelling product that if they learn who we are and they learn it through a trusted source, there's a high chance they would deposit. But I wouldn't spend like $40 on acquiring such user. So think about I would back into like what is the customer acquisition cost there. To your second question on deflationary, no, I don't think it would be deflationary per se. It would be based on how we manage the circulating supply. As of now, we don't plan it to be inflationary either. So how I think about it is the supply really shouldn't matter that much because as a rewards token, the difference is Starbucks can create as many rewards points as they want. We theoretically could, but instead of minting those on chain, we can just adjust the rewards tokens value based on the redemption value.
Yeah.
So I think viewing it as whether it's inflationary or deflationary is not necessarily the right lens. Lastly, I'll add that a lot of users asked us for like buyback. That is something we definitely will not do. I've looked at like Jupiter as a great example, superior protocol. They spend like 80 million buying back the token. I think that was like honestly the worst way you could spend your 80 million. Like you could have acquired many companies or like acquire like a very legit Web2 company with that money. And you're subject to the whims of crypto beta or like beta in the market of your token versus the market beta.
Yeah,
so,
they lost like $40 million doing that.
Yeah. So I like that's just a terrible use of. Imagine if they acquired like an $80 million company. You can acquire like a Web2 SaaS company. You would make so much, like I don't know, 10x multiple. You have revenue, your company's way bigger, it's diversified revenue stream. Like this token would have gone up that way versus
it would have
token back. Yeah. So
and it feels like this take is becoming a bit of consensus for a while. And I think that also derives from the fact that like we just haven't had a very good model that people seem to like. And so buybacks was kind of just like the last ditch effort, or at least it felt like. And recently people are like, well, it's just not moving the needle. Like it's completely burning money, setting it on fire.
In fairness, though, I will say the counter argument, and I was here when BNB launched their token, and I remember those early quarterly burns or monthly burns. I can't remember what it was, but it was an event. Like CZ got on, did a little YouTube live, did the burn like right there in like a tiny little closet, it seemed, and people really came around that and saw, hey, this is deflationary, and that was the first example of that, and it has worked for hype, obviously. I think those business models are exchange models where, you know, the significance of the burn is there, right? Like you have a lot of revenue that's crypto native and it makes sense. But I think in this case, yeah, it's probably doesn't make a lot of sense.
I don't know. I think even in the equities market, you see like a growth stock, like a very promising high growth company, and they decide to do dividends. You'd be like, why?
Yeah.
Dividends and buybacks have the same effect, and yeah, like why don't you spend that money on R&D? So
yeah, that's just how much Binance was making, though.
Yeah, but right? Binance had many other ways of getting you to buy BNB because you have to. Yeah. So it's not just on the buy and burn, or not on the burn side.
So on the subject of like an intrinsically valuable token, like how do you guys think about that? How do you make a token then that's more of a reward system intrinsically valuable for the holders?
Access, discounts. I think of it as, I've framed it as kind of liability on our balance sheet, but very, very cheap debt, if you will. Like, you know, if I'm dollar for dollar borrowing money in order to fuel growth, it would cost me a lot more than launching a token. So the extent, and then it's like a no, how should I say, permanent duration IOU. Like I can change the IOU, and we strive for this IOU to have some value slowly. So like, let's say
if I think, I just want to ask about this, because if I think about who the buyer of this token would be, does that mean like, okay, if I buy $100 of this token, I got my 100,000 on Prina, it makes sense for me to buy that token because I get some sort of discount that makes my, you know, earnings potentially more than the $100 I would have invested in it.
Correct. So okay. Something like explicitly Nexo's model, why I really like them, is they have tiers. Like crypto.com, I think their tiers are like how much CRO you own, but Nexo is what proportion of your portfolio is in the Nexo token. And if 10% of your portfolio is in Nexo token, you get much higher yields, lower cost of borrowing. I don't know what else you get, but that's like an example I really like. For us, we might be able to do some of those things. None of this is built on the smart contract side. Yeah. But we might be able to achieve some of that. What I know we can achieve for sure is we're getting a lot of deal flow from all sorts of asset classes. We could easily just gate that to Piranha Purple, our VIP members, and then people with like high holdings of this rewards token. Or if you want to get into like a really crowded, let's say we got like Anthropic allocation. Presumably most people want Anthropic allocation. Okay, you can burn some of these tokens to get this allocation, or like some like opportunity into something that is more desirable.
So it's almost like grow the platform, create power users, and these power users are gonna be the biggest beneficiaries of holding the token. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't think
go finish your thought, and then I have a question.
I don't think like tokens should 10x that way. We're not 10xing as a company. Like, why should our token 10x?
Sure.
Yeah.
If it does, there's something wrong with it, and it will come down. So yeah, I'm not trying to like. When you say why should you buy the token, I think it's a utility-based thing to have, and hopefully you think we are going somewhere, and that will long-term result in a not worse performance than other tokens. But I don't view this as an investment product. Certainly, it's not a security. there's no like security like characteristics to it. It's more like a rewards, like a points or rewards token.
I want to ask because like we see the movement towards private equity being more accessible by non-accredited investors, and there's Robinhood announced something yesterday. We had Street Foundation on yesterday's using an SPV structure with that, you know, a percentage of the SPV represents the token itself, so there's some sort of equity backing. Do you think there's a world where, you know, power users or fans should have some sort of equity tie-in? Like, do you think that's like a valuable world? Because they are the product in some ways, as much as the product earns the money, and I think that's the product, but also in some ways, without users growth, I mean, the equity has no value, right?
I wanted to offer users equity, given that we're based in the US. It's a bit more difficult to offer,
of course, yeah.
Equity. I would love to try or to implement Backpack's model where if you stake their token for 1 year, you get equity. Yes, I do think people should be able to get equity, or like some sort of buy-in model. I believe from talking to different counsel, it sounds like we could offer like a one-time window or like a periodic, occasional windows for people who hold tokens to not necessarily trade, but be eligible to buy equity at certain prices, to avoid the token being treated as a warrant, because that's like really the whole gist of why this whole thing is happening. Otherwise, I could just, you know, wrap some equity around a token and call that my token, but that doesn't work. It doesn't work that way given the current regulatory frameworks.
Yeah, no, just wanted. I'm sure there's some raving fan out there, Perina, where you'd be like, yeah, you know what? I want you to own a tiny little fraction of our upside because
I want
it's
many
a win-win.
people to own. Yeah. Like I'm anti-democracy in governance. But I'm very pro distribution in ownership. I think everybody should be able to own companies like Tesla, Amazon, Meta. You should not be able to vote for any of them if you're just a retail holding these stocks.
Yeah, I mean, well, we've also seen it before. It's like, you know, the person that's going to be the biggest ambassador for the company is going to be the person that feels like they have a shared upside in it, right? And so it's like you see the statistics. The person that owns Ford stock is much more likely to go and buy a Ford, right? And so, like, I think that works on all levels.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
interestingly enough, yeah. No, I'm sorry. I was just going to pivot.
Whether it's equity or token, it's the same. Like I'm hearing some of the older generation founders went public early in their careers because they wanted that as a marketing tool, and that was like a shit stock for 10 years or something, and then it blew up. So there are many stories like that.
I see you guys have paid out $1 million to users, and if I can get that tweet up, can you talk a bit about growth? I think that'd be a good natural next step here.
Yeah, sure. So as you know, markets have been hitting a downturn. Our deposits had gone down. It has stabilized and picking back up again slowly. Our next phase of growth is around launching new products. So we're adding the diversification in vaults selection and adding tranching, which is almost done. For people who are willing to take a little bit more risk, you can go in a junior tranche with amplified yields, and then that way USD Star itself becomes senior tranche and becomes even more protected and continue to diversify. Growth wise, we're the same business model as traditional asset managers. It's a steady AUM growth business. We are looking for sticky capital that's not like mercenary yield farmers. We've intentionally started looking at channels that are less mercenary. So the ones that are people who like do not want to move their money every week or every few months even. Our UI, our user experience and user interface may become more friendly towards like normal people. I keep thinking because here I would meet a lot of other founders not in the crypto space, and they get intrigued to hear like, wow, you can get 10% liquid APY. That's obviously not risk-free, but it's pretty good compared to what you can get in the TradFi market. How do I onboard them? I'm having a hard time explaining like Connect wallet, get your dollars. So I really
Yeah.
want to solve that part, and I think that can unlock growth.
Well, do you have any thoughts on how you're going to be able to do that? Because it's a big question.
So originally, I wanted to do something that is just like embedded wallet login. That has shifted as I talk to more users. I actually think Nexo's model or centralized exchange model is quite good, but it comes with like a whole suite of compliance issues. What I mean by that is the average user who wants to deposit like 50K or something, they rather you KYC them, and they rather never know what chain they're on because they have no idea, and they do
Yeah.
not want to touch a wallet. So if we build a centralized solution, we have to manage a lot of that. And I think personally, I would like people to self-custody or understand the concept of self-custody. So we're in between. Like we probably will use some third-party wallet infrastructure provider, but abstract it as much as we can with like gas relay, etc. And offer like an email login for people.
So you said you've been getting a lot of feedback from those type of people that are like, okay, 10% is great. I want to do this, but the Web3 stuff, it's not my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Are you like thinking about making more of a marketing push towards that audience, or are you still going to stick
Not right
mainly-
now, not because I think we have a lot of market that we haven't tapped out yet in the crypto space. So one thing as everyone know right now, we're not getting new capital into the industry or into the DeFi landscape. So for all of us here, we know how to use stablecoins and use our own wallets. That population is not really growing as quickly because the people that are getting onboarded, like the only places that are growing right now in broadly Web3 is stablecoin based payments. And those are largely abstracted by the wallet infra providers, by the stablecoin sandwich, or you want to call it whatever name you want to give that, but it's like a rail. So I think because the population is stagnant, I want to spend like maybe 2-3 more months looking at growing this, like our group of people, and then reevaluate whether we should go out and target like outsiders. The problem with outsiders is generally, whether it's like Europe or North America, the reputation of crypto is quite bad.
Yeah.
So I think we need to frame this as like a general, like an alternatives asset manager on blockchain rails is how I've been explaining to users, explaining to potential depositors that are like not crypto native at all.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's a difficult one to crack.
Yeah, and I also really quick, I don't know if I know your yield source to get to the 10%. I remember it. I know we talked about it at Meddavi and you've talked about it with Dom, but can you just really quick just describe how you get to the 9.9%? Because I'm tired of earning just 4% on my bonds.
Yeah, can you go to transparency at the top of the page?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
So go down a little bit. And you can see the counterparty breakdown is our venue breakdown. And then strategy allocation is how we generate the yields on the right side. Yeah, also we're building out a new dashboard. So
Okay,
majority
funding rate, delta neutral funding rate strategies. Okay. I'm assuming, sorry.
Yes. Or like multiple strategies that are all delta neutral.
Oh,
So
GLP. Oh, okay. I see. Also, there's like liquidity provisioning. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, I remember we walked through like the steps of how I could, start earning yield. It's very simple. It's just like it's a one click and you're good to go. There's no staking. There's none of that stuff. Have you guys talked to, look, I'll just think of FOMO as an example. FOMO, for example, you trade in USDC, right? So it's very easy. People just hold stables on chain. Obviously they would love for those stables to be working for them when they're not trading. Have you guys like approached any of those discussions where it's like, you're a protocol that people keep a lot of their money in USDC on. We would love to integrate into it and make it easy for them to earn.
Yeah, we haven't talked specifically with FOMO, so thank you for the suggestion. But have reached out to some of the protocols.
And how's that response going? Is it something that they're open to, or they maybe a little?
Some of them are open to it. Some of them are less open to it. As you can see here, USD Star is not a traditional fiat-backed stablecoin. Like I don't try to market it as, we don't call it a stablecoin. It's just like a digital dollar, synthetic dollar, whatever you want to call it, yield coin. It is not the same as fiat-backed. So for protocols that are like, I really need my collateral to be 100% T-bill or cash equivalents, that's not us. For the protocols that are like, I just need collateral that is liquid and earns yield, is high quality, and I'm willing to take more risk than purely T-bills, that's where we sit.
Would you ever consider making like a second option where it is one-to-one backed by T-bills or fiat cash, but maybe it earns a little bit yet less yield just to kind of help get those customers on board?
Yeah, we would. We actually have USD Prime. It's live. We don't really market it as much. So that one's in partner working with Braille. It's like a US based regulated. You can mint it if you're KYB or KYC'd with Braille on their platform. I wanted to build more in that space, but I think like where we're hearing from users is they just want a better place to manage and deploy their stables.
Back in the day, I actually built one of the first USDC stablecoin vaults. It actually probably was the first in 2021 or 2022. It basically took deposits. We took 5 million in deposits and put it in GLP and then just passed the yield back. And it was hedged too as well, which was really cool with some on-chain hedges. But in this scenario, I'm wondering, like, have you thought about doing just like an LP strategy? I'm sure this is what your new strategy, maybe you'll talk about your new higher risk strategies, but are they like just like, hyper liquid, GLP and whatever other liquidity provider strategy? And then it's like the one that's a combination of treasury plus those, and then treasury, like, is that the spectrum, or how do you generate more yield?
Yeah. So a couple of ways. The ones that are coming up, one is a USDT specific vault using also delta neutral strategies curated by a very well-known protocol on the EVM side. I wanted to bring diversity to stablecoins, so it's not purely USDC. So that one's earning a little bit lower than what we are, but quite competitive. It will be the highest yielding Tether product on Solana. And then another product we're bringing on is largely private credit based. In terms of LP tokens like JLP, HLP, LLP, ALP, like all the LP tokens, I think totally doable. We in this delta neutral, like you can see, there's lighter and hyperliquid. Some of it is already in those positions if markets, like depending on how the trades are doing. Sub vault, I think, is where you're getting at. Basically, USD Star right now is our main product, but on the invest page, we're going to add different vaults. And if somebody wants to only go into the LP tokens with neutralized LP tokens, I think that should be doable. Higher yield, like in search of yield, we can always provide more yield, but we don't want to do it in a way that might mislead users to like max leverage the hell out of it and then get liquidated. So I'd rather provide products that are managed or with some overview. This is something we joked about internally, and I was like, how do we get, you gotta put out some cringe memorable ad, and with some brainstorming we came up with this one.
This was good.
Thank you. Yeah, so we're like, how do we get people to remember this 10% APY product? And that, there you go. Don't be. We have another one coming out that I think is pretty funny too.
Dom, you're muted.
That's the marketing campaign right there. Find a few some corny ads and just run them. I love it. Maybe let's go get some timing on the token. Have you guys thought about when you plan to release that, or?
Whenever I finish like 100 pages of diligence questionnaire. I'm just kidding. That plus many other things have to line up to make it happen.
No real timeline as of now.
I would love for this year. Like, I would love for it this year. I would love for early this year. I would love for Q2.
So you're not like launching it on stream today by chance?
No.
Okay. That's
There's
fine.
like so
Push the
much
button.
work to launching a token, and I think, yeah, and
Come on.
and as I
We
said,
were
we're not
hoping
even
you were gonna
focused-
press the button so we could, go buy some. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
mean, it's not just pressing a button. It's like
I know.
so much shit has to go into this. Yeah,
Gotta roll through the
it's
shit.
like a product line that we need to maintain. So
Gotta roll through the shit. There we go.
yeah, exactly. It's like an uphill rolling through the shit.
Do you want to maybe rattle off any updates to cover real quick before we wrap up, and then get into kind of what you guys are looking forward to next?
Yeah, I mentioned some of this earlier, but just a couple of bullet points. Tron Chain is going to be live. It's USD star -J for junior. USD star, that's going to be much higher yield. That makes USD star safer as well. And then we have USD star -P, which is kind of like similar to principal protected version. It's an even safer version of USD star that's only available to the purple members. Piranha Purple is coming out. It's already in testing with some of the members. That's if you deposit over 100K, you become a purple member, get early access to deal flow, deeper diligence, data rooms, all that. We'll hop on a call with you, answer any questions you may have. The 2 new vaults coming. We'll have a couple more lined up as well. And yeah, so those are some of the product updates.
How do you guys determine what like option is maybe the best for each specific investor? Because it seems like you got a few options, and maybe it's a bit daunting to some people.
We don't. So we're not an investment advisor.
Mhm.
On our user interface, how we thought about it is emphasize USD star as the, if you don't know anything and don't want to like spend time learning about everything, go there. And the rest of the options are specific thematic things you should get exposure to if you're more sophisticated. You want to take more risk. We're actually going through like reworking some of the page descriptions, so people who have never heard of the word tranching can understand like what is junior tranche, or like what is like first loss, lien, etc. I think of it's an ongoing discussion. Like on one hand, I want to offer, we want to provide users with like a brokerage account, all the assets you might want to invest that are worth holding long term. On the other hand, we don't want to overwhelm a net new investor who just got their like first paycheck and want to set aside 5% of their paycheck somewhere. I don't want to present them with like 20 different options.
Right.
Well, yeah.
No, makes a lot of sense. Okay. We appreciate your time. It's always a fascinating conversation with you, Anna. You have a lot of like really good insights outside of just Piranha. But it's awesome to see you guys are, getting on the horse with that steady growth, and we continue to be impressed by what you build. So thank you.
Thank you guys for having me back.
Yep. See you, Anna.
Chat soon.
Hey.
Great. Got a few minutes.
No token launch on stream, guys, but that's okay.
Today. Not today.
We were just being funny.
But yeah, no, dude, this is, I would say probably one of my favorite yield generating platforms. It's, I don't know. Anna's just so sharp, and I like how they're moving personally. I don't know if I have much more to say outside of that, but
no. Yeah. I mean, back in the day when I had, lots of stable coins, this would definitely be super helpful. I think, people want this kind of stuff in these bear markets. It's like, where do you get 10% fairly risk-free is, not many places. So,
yeah, I think even a couple percent. What was interesting to me is, like they did say they had the other option there where it's like lower yield, but it is back 111 fiat. And, I don't know why it's not a normalized thing where these trading platforms just have built-in yield generation. If I'm going to sit on here with Solana or USD, why am I not earning? Like, I feel like I kind of, maybe I should be.
Yeah. Yeah. I bought bonds like for the first time after the 2022 run. I had to take some profits. I literally bought bonds.
Yeah.
For the first time in my life, earned my 4%, 5%, but not bad. All right. Anything, we got, 5 minutes here. Anything that we can tap into?
I'm just prepping real quick for this Axis Pizza here next. Let me see. Do I have anything? I mean, MCM dropped a little Axiom hit piece here. If you have any money on fees,
you know what? Let's. I saw, and I sent it in the chat that Pump had blocked trading or something to third-party terminals other than Terminal. I don't know if that's real. Is this real? Is this even possible?
Let's see. This is from the Solana post. It's got some decent mutual followers here. Leading
the Solana post is kind of legit. I'm pretty sure they're legit.
Okay. Minutes after Zach XBT posted about Axiom, Pump Fund reportedly cut off swaps on all external platforms, forcing activity exclusively through its own terminal and app. Would be a good time to do it, man. I think Pump Fund has that leverage. If you want to trade Pump Fund, you want to trade through a terminal, why not do it through theirs? I think they would get a ton of fees through terminal, to be honest. So
yeah, but is this real? Like, can they do that? Because a smart contract, can it not be like you can trade the smart contract of the token? Like, you don't need to go through quote unquote Pump Fund to do this.
This is true.
All right, I'm gonna do some DD on this. You cover what you were gonna cover. I'm gonna try and find some info.
No, this is a good point. They can prevent it from listing instantly, right? Like, it won't be listed on there, but you can still swap through terminals. Like maybe in there. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting question. But yeah, here I'll cover MCM's hit piece back on the Axiom Exchange drama here. If you have any money on fees, if you have any money or fees on Axiom, withdraw now. Probably like a safe thing to make sure you have that wallet, obviously in your own custody, and also just withdrawing. Kings, Grading Boys, another bloodbath. Yeah, dude, we got the 10 a.m. slam. I thought Jane Street was gone. Got my winnings in the poly market play. Let's go, dude. Let's go. Yeah, Kings was on it yesterday, dude. Voting
Kings,
no on Matt.
Yeah, voting no on Matt, I think, was a great play. Who it was, tough to say unless you're the insider who knew, obviously.
Yeah.
But you don't slam 200K into a prediction market with 100 potential outcomes unless you know.
Yeah, for sure. I honestly, I still can't believe that was the expose. It kind of feels like a bit of a letdown. But
so
yeah.
Low key, I saw someone on the timeline saying that maybe it was Pump that sponsored the Zach XBT thing to promote Terminal.
Who would benefit the most off of Axiom getting shut down?
Terminal.
Terminal is would be a big one.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead with this, and we got 2 minutes.
Yeah, no. This is just a quick thing, but here's some history on the Axiom founders, okay, which I thought was pretty interesting. I didn't know this prior to this expose here. Below is proof that Axiom's co-founders owned an NFT toolbox they exit scammed in 2023. And what an NFT toolbox is, for those that weren't around during the glorious times, it was, sniper tools, different features for, buying, selling, bidding on different NFT collections, mass bidding, all sorts of different stuff you could do with an NFT toolbox. They exit scammed in 2023. Axiom is on the verge of an FTX type collapse where you could wake up and find your funds permanently inaccessible. Yeah, I would say, and I also heard people were having some issues withdrawing off Axiom just because of maybe the pure volume of this, which I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I think the safe bet here would be, because you don't want some sort of collapse, because there's a run on liquidity, I would say probably it's best to not have any funds on Axiom.
Now, is it so? This is where my knowledge of the current infrastructure. Did users not have the access to their own keys through like a
No, you totally do.
Like
you totally do. You just have to export them. So if you don't have your keys exported, I would say export your keys at the very least. If Axiom has access to a wallet, like there are multiple wallets I would say that I have access to a few terminals, right? Axiom being one of them. I would say, consider moving it. But I think as long as you have your own keys, you should be good. Just don't be using like the embedded wallets that Axiom has, and should be straight.
I was gonna say, if they're custodying funds, then they're an exchange, but I don't think that's what's happening. So but get your keys off there for sure. Have a copy of them. I mean, at least.
Yep. Nonetheless, Josh, I'm good to jump. I'm not sure if you found anything on that DD here, but I'm good to jump. If you want to jump to Axis with me.
Yeah, I mean, just interesting. The whole thing is interesting. Let's go to Axis. Do you want to pull up the chart real quick before we get Muse on and just or check in here really quick on what Axis is?
For sure. Give some context.
Then we'll bring up the legend. Kings, I'm so glad you banked on that play. I mean, what was it? It was trading at like 60% at one point. So that's a hell of a
was it that high?
Bet. Yeah, it
was
was.
Like 50,
Meteor was that.
Let's see. Can I pull up? Let me pull up the poly market.
I tried looking. It kind of all looks like a wash, like hard to detect the history, but
let me see if I can find it real quick. What did you search, Zach? XVT.
Maru GICM. How you doing? From shout out Japan. Axes, go. Yes, in a second here. If you search Meteora, actually, it'll pop up. All right. Just search Meteora. Did it show? That's what I searched this morning, and it popped up.
All good if not, but yeah, either way, the odds are pretty. The odds are pretty good if you were shorting it. I think it at least got up to 50. So
I just love King's mentality. He made money on that. That's great.
My goat, bro. My goat.
All right. Let's get to it.
Jump. Muse. Hey, bro. You with us?
How you doing?
Hi, everyone. I'm Muse from Access. Hi.
Hey, how's it going? Whereabouts in the world are you joining us from?
Yeah, actually, I'm based on Tokyo right now, but I'm attending at Mountain Down right now. So
okay, cool.
United States, yeah.
How's that experience going? I mean, people love Mountain Dow and what they're doing.
It's very excited. So actually, this is my first time coming to Mountain Down, but it is very, very excited. So real builders, real vibes. So yeah, actually, I attended a demo day yesterday. So yeah, also it's very perfect, right?
Sweet. Yeah. How's that? Are you planning on doing any skiing up there, or do you have a ski day planned?
Yeah, I always weekend going to skate everything. Yeah.
do you do that a lot in Japan or no?
Yeah. Also, I going to Japan ski venue. Yeah.
Very cool.
Very good.
Okay, let's get into what you're building. That sounds like an awesome experience here. But so I got this Axis site pulled up. I guess you can create ETFs is how I'm understanding, but maybe walk us through, first and foremost, maybe your background. So, what qualifies you and what took you to this place where you are now to create this?
Yeah, actually, I'm 20 years old right now. So, yeah, my background is I majored just like classic music in my university, but I quit and then start my crypto journey. And then actually I'm building I'm developers about cryptocurrency like Solana boards, Solana trading bots, everything. And then I start this Axis in 2024 April. Yeah, first product is just like one index token and then one index, but it failed because nobody wants this APY. And then it's just like one index token. So everyone wanna create index ETFs on ETFs. So I realized, and then start this product, this Axis.pizza, basically more easy to understand DeFi, and then more excited. Everyone can create, invest on ETFs, other ETFs, and then So this is our background. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So how I'm understanding it is you guys have created a platform where anyone can whip up their own ETF and create a basket of tradable assets. What kind of assets do you guys offer?
Everything, like stock token, and then commodity, and then prediction tokens. So actually, we are offshore partnership with DeFi, so using liquidity currency platform. So finally, you can bet narrative like Trump fund, 10% Bitcoin, 20% Trump win prediction tokens, and then 30% like gold, everything. And then other stock tokens like Apple. Yeah.
And you guys have a yield bearing mechanism built into this too, it seems like. How are you guys providing yield on these ETFs outside of just exposure to the assets?
So yeah, right now just like AVPs, but I'm planning this, like license auction. So PFDA mechanism, like because every AMM's like LVR, so liquid value like 30% per year per month, this is called LVR and then MEV. So we protected this one and then return users like sales of bots. So bots bid license auction and then we sell it this auction this license and then finally we can return the MEV and then lossless value. Yeah.
So you're generating MEV revenue and paying it to your users from your background in making a Solana trading bot?
Yeah. So first, our background is just like developing JLP boards, like delta neutral trade. So I realized, this JLP, how can I say, delta neutral, like centralized exchange and then JLP's pool. So, but we cannot kill this arbitrage. So we have to, recreating these odd market makers for ETFs.
Right. So you're using GMX's liquidity pool and you're hedging on a centralized exchange. So delta neutral strategy. And then separate to that, you're using the trading bot to also generate yield from a MEV strategy.
Exactly.
Are you using other liquidity pools like Hyperliquids, or is there other Drift? I don't know if Drift is doing significant volumes, but
yeah, I'm planning right now. Currently, basically we are just like MVPs right now. So yeah, we are using this other liquidity pool like Hyperliquid, everything. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do we want to get into Metro, or go ahead, Dom?
Yeah, real quick, one more question on this. I'm looking at this tweet right here. Your ID, your ETF. If it's on chain, it's in your ETF. We broke it down all the walls so you can build it. And I see you have offerings. It seems like stocks and gold, so you can buy that, stocks, for example, through X stocks. Prediction markets. You have Kalshi, right? Pump fund. So like you have all these different options. I think you're clearly using mostly on-chain rails, if not all the way on-chain rails. How do you guys do due diligence on who your providers are going to be? For example, like Remora Markets, we know they went under recently, unfortunately. How do you guys ensure that users are protected?
So basically, we are using just like Solana on-chain asset. So yeah, offshore partnerships just like only DeFi. So I'm talking with Xstock founder and then Pump.Fund. The Pump.Fund team. So but basically our philosophy just like Solana on-chain asset. So yeah, like provide yourself and then basically on-chain assets.
So what happens in the scenario that one of these companies, say Xstock, for example, goes under and users' funds are kind of tied up in some of the stocks that they offer, or the private stocks, private equity? How do you go and get a claim on those funds, or how do you keep users safe?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, that's like that's a tough question to answer.
Yeah. Is it just due diligence thing?
Yeah. Like
Remora
Markets had a thing, but I guess like Axis Pizza can't audit every single provider. Like maybe a better question is I guess you would probably have to disclose the underlying risk to users, and I'm assuming that's something that you guys do.
Yes. So basically right now we are just, our MVP is live on DevNet right now. So yeah, just like proceed around right now, So I'm planning other, users risks. So, but basically right now, if you can create ETF on our dApps, you don't, worry about some risks right now. Yeah, but we will fix some issues in future. Yeah.
This is cool. Nice website. Create your ETF. That's really cool. So do you create your own ETFs, right? So people are you guys curating ETFs, or is a user coming on and saying, "Oh, I want, this prediction market with all these other things," right?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. And so you're just providing them the menu of assets or things that they can put into the ETF.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
And then obviously, presumably a part of that is, saying, hey, this asset has or this asset has this risk exposure, just kind of thing.
Let's talk about economics. How do you guys profit? What's the goal with that? How do you guys turn a profit here?
Yeah. Right. I'm sorry. How can I say? Yeah. Right now, actually, we are joined Pump.com Hackathon. So, yeah, I talked with Pump.com team like Faye and Lanes, and then, yeah, there gives us feedback, and then, yeah, I followed by Tolly and Solana offshore account, and then Solana Foundation team members. Yeah. So, next step, we have to win this hackathon, and then, start fundraised, and then finally start developing for mainnet.
And so once you do go live on mainnet here, and people start using and buying these ETFs, how do you guys see profit from that? Is that going to be like
a fee
basis points?
Yeah, basis point, just like 0.25% is base swap fee, and then 0.20% per TVL, just like AUM fees, and then 10%, just like auction take rate, our protocol fees, and then if you create ETFs, you can get 20%, 0.20% per TVL, just like creator fee, like Pump.fund, via auction take rate.
And that's if someone creates an ETF, they get a creator fee?
Yeah.
Okay.
And how do you guys plan to, market this to people, just get a broader user base here? What sets you guys apart? I've seen other ETF platforms in the past. I'd like to know what makes you guys maybe a better option.
Yeah. So right now, very simple MVPs, but in other futures, like, every tokens, ETFs, and then, other ETF protocol is just like, cannot create own ETFs. So our edge is just like we can create our own ETF, right?
And what's the go-to-market with that? Is it, getting KOLs to create their own ETFs and having their users, maybe buy that ETF behind them, or what's your strategy for marketing here?
Yeah, I think if you create ETFs, so you can get like 0.20%. This is the financial reasons for their own ETFs. So let me think, if I only have 300 users, but I create ETFs, so this is the performance is very good, like 145%. So overnight, finally get like 3,000 followers. So basically, our DApps on Axis performance is everything, right? So this is our GTM. So your ETF go viral, Axis go viral. So this is included in very strong financial reasons for Zella's ETFs. So first, this is our GTM. So second, basically we be planning deploying on Solana App Store and like Solana Mobile. And then, using infrastructure is just like GitHub in Q2, Q1. And then, this is the alpha. So actually, I joined the neutral hosted by Monad Foundation. So actually, I had a call in this week. Yeah, maybe if I passed this more neutral accelerator, we got $500,000 just like pre-seed fund raised, and then 3 months living in New York City.
Wow.
So
Nice.
if I pass this one, we can deploy on mainnet more, area, So this is alpha. I'm not sure, but I hope pass these accelerators.
Hey,
So,
we hope you do too. That'd be
awesome.
great.
thank you.
It seems, is that something, one of your strategies right now is just going to a bunch of accelerators and trying to see what they can do for you?
Yeah, that's why, because as a Japanese, we cannot deploy on mainnet, just like illegal, right? So I think it's most important things like we have to legal setup, going to another country like Dubai, Singapore, everything. So this is our top priority task for me. So that's why, accelerator is most important things like, for deploying on mainnet.
Makes a lot of sense.
When I create, so there, I think the backdrop here is we're seeing social trading being like a really big thing. Obviously, there's trading apps where people do copy trading, but there's a lot of criticism around that because you're copy trading someone into a really thin liquidity. And so what happens is like you're farming your followers, basically. That's the criticism.
Yep.
And MCM has really very well actually documented that, a lot of that on X. But this is kind of a different version of that. Like I come here, I curate, one of these vaults with all these assets, and then people can kind of trade alongside me in some way, whether it be, I can see meme coins on there, I can see prediction markets, etc. As the vault is live, is it like I set up the vault and it's locked, or can I adjust the strategy as I go?
Yeah. So your idea, just your ETFs. So basically, this is just like copy trade, but performance is everything. If you, copied other traders, but maybe you cannot, correctable like TVL. So anyway, I think,
Yeah, I see one there, like the frog strategy. I don't know the assets that were in there. Like maybe it will update here. Oh no, it didn't. Do you see that, Dom? The frog strategy. Oh, so there's ICM, which had Kled, Avicii, and a couple others in there.
Let me know when you see the frog. I didn't see it.
Yeah, right there. Oh, there's Murad Index, which is SPX and Giga, and then there's Frog Fund, which is okay. Yeah, Frog and okay. I mean, so what's like the minimum market cap? Like, can you put a bunch of just like 20K, meme coins in here, or is there some sort of, and that's a great question, Crypto Jones. We'll get to that one right after this. Like, what's the minimum market cap for an asset?
Yep. So right now we are using Jupyter's token list. So we have to improve the apps. So anyway, this is building public. So we deployed on like terrible MVPs, and then getting feedback from users, and then iteration, developing. So anyway, I have to win the hackathon, like Pump.com hackathon.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe ending, we'll wrap this kind of up here with just talking about the token. Oh yeah, would it be possible to have long or short positions in the ETF? I mean, derivative markets on ETF, any thoughts on that, or leverage markets, let's say?
Yes. Maybe, right now, I'm planning just like this short, long leverage market. So, but basically right now, I'll just MVPs, so cannot testing or MVPs, but I'm planning in future. It's very good question. I'm very interested in this long and short. Yeah.
Yeah, you need more liquidity there,
Yeah.
and a reason for someone to take the other side of that trade. MCG should launch a fund live. Yeah, I mean, we'd love to. If ownership tokens and ICM tokens, have a solid performance, that would be great. Yeah.
What about token though? Do you guys have any plans for some sort of integration into the platform, utility? Maybe there's an equity anchorage aspect to it. How do you guys think about it, the token? And yeah,
Maxis, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, Maxis holders can get point our dApps like testing, our MVPs. As our early founders, it's very important traction, like user numbers and then everything this traction. So I want gives our holders. So this is our utility. First, you can invest early stage project like me. And then, yeah, you can get point over the apps. This is just like, future, like airdrops. Basically, we planning to launch our index. Our governance tokens, right? Another one like me, live now on Pamphlet one like Maxis. Another one I planning governance tokens. So if you holders on Maxis, you can get point more other holders and then we planning like everything incentive for early stage users and then early adapters, early test.
Is your so you mentioned a MEV bot or some sort of trading strategy you're already running. Is that something you're running live today, or is that like also kind of in beta for when this platform goes live?
Yeah. Maybe in this week, we finished deploy like tracking, like ETFs trading, But basically, right now we are live on DevNet, so cannot trading our dApps. Maybe, next time, if I close this round, you can trade on our dApps.
Awesome. And so you have on the Solana Devs channel, you actually have a little clip here. Maybe Dom, I'll screen share this just for the people. Here we go. All right, we'll play this. I know you're seeing yourself, but just for everyone on stream.
For the complex DeFi screens, we design it to be as simple as Tinder. Just swipe left or right.
Oh.
Your on-chain index is ready in second. You can create crypto, stock, commodity, and prediction ETFs. This is not just spreading your risk. This is betting directly on narratives. Imagine a World War III hedging ETF. In one swipe, you can combine gold, defense stocks, Bitcoin, and political prediction tokens. Anyone can launch this narrative fund in second.
The
Dude,
prediction market thing is cool.
Yeah, that's really I mean, right now you could add a bunch of different geopolitical ones and have some sort of hedging thing. You know what I would do for Muse? That pitch is great, by the way.
Thanks
The
so
way you describe what your product and business does, I would just memorize this pitch over and over and over, master it, really lock it in. Because of what I've never seen before is a prediction market, quote unquote, ETF, right? And look, I don't trade prediction markets. I don't necessarily have the time and energy to do that. But if I knew someone who had some sort of take on the markets, some sort of specific edge, I would definitely throw some money in a prediction market ETF. I would even double down kind of on that narrative, like specifically, because I think there's moat there. But
yeah, that hasn't been done.
That hasn't been done. Right. That's new and novel. So, yeah, really, really focus on that. But I think, I think unless is there anything else you wanted to share on stream? I think this was a good first chat. And of course, we'd love to catch up when you get this live as well. But anything else you would like to share?
If I select teams like this Mountain Dow pitching, so maybe we will attend Breakpoint in London in 2026. So I'm pumped like this, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be keeping up with you and watching. Hopefully, you can win this hackathon and get to the races. So we appreciate you.
Yeah, wait, sorry, really quick. Tell us a bit about Mountain Dow specifically. So did you apply to it? Is it sponsored by Meteor as well? Who are like the presenting sponsors, and who are you pitching to?
Vesper from Meteola.
Oh yeah. Okay, we love Vesper. Vesper.
Yeah, so we eat ramen in Salt Lake City with Vesper.
So good.
Yeah.
All right. So Mountain Dow's based in Salt Lake City. Obviously, that makes sense because there's probably mountains there. But okay, wow. I'll tell Vesper we say hi. That I'm sure she knows that you're on MCG, but absolutely love that. Okay, cool.
Thank you so much.
All right. See you,
Thanks,
Muse. Have a great day.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
Mountain Dow would be fun, man. We should have gone.
Dude, we should have
we could have done that. We could have done like a hackathon and just had all the guests on.
Yeah, like we could have just, I'm sure they have a live stream there. We're not here to like kind of overtake people's live streams, but I think it'd be cool just to have like commentary, just sit up there for a few hours, just have the headsets on and just sit there and like have people come through and talk about whatever they're building. Even people not in the hackathon. I mean, it would be cool. Judges, everything. So, hey, if you're listening, you're a Solana person, we want to collaborate with people. But hey, good product. Would love to see it in production. I mean, I guess if we're featuring more hackathon type projects, and I believe the next project also is one of those, they'll be pre-token and whatnot, which is understandable. So we'll kind of mix some of these in and do more of these hackathons because I think they're good. Dom, we have like 17, 18 before the next chat. You want to?
Maybe I'll do the Jane Street article before we get into it. I do have to use the restroom though, so maybe I'll jump for 5 if a minute if you want to hold it down here.
All right, I can hold it down. I'm just trying to think what to talk about.
I mean, who's coming on next?
They're like an app payment splitting, but they're also in the Mountain Dow hackathon. So
see what you can find about Jane Street in the meantime. I'll be back in a minute though.
All right, you go do your thing.
See what you can find about the founder because he's like super exclusive.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be back.
You go do your thing. All right, guys, what's up? Dom just pulled the ripcord on me, so I gotta try and see what's up. Let's kind of check in here what markets are doing. All right. Remove that. All right, guys. I think just to give y'all a little bit of alpha. I mean, it's not really alpha. We had all right, I'll look at that Crypto Jones radar because that was an interesting situation. We featured radar a few times and their token did really well. We started covering them at like 600K or something like that. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, another privacy protocol. The thing ripped to like 5 million. So it was a good trade if you're in it and took profits, obviously. But so guys, I think what I'll let you in on is our conversation on Friday with Jones Rita. I'm just going to bring that back up because I think people kind of are wondering like where we are a little bit in the cycle. And one of the key things from that conversation was reclaiming the 50-day moving averages. And so I just want to let you know where we are and where those are at. Those are at the 80K range. And Jones had actually mentioned, and this conversation was here on Friday. So it was at 66, we were going 68K. So on this candle right here. So he had actually mentioned he wanted to see a sweep of the liquidity down here. I don't think it got as low as he thought, but definitely like 59 to 60K is where he wanted to see, and then it to bounce out of there. Rida, Jones, Rida. Yeah, thank you. Not Rita, Rida. Thank you, Crypto Jones. But it bounced up. What he didn't want to see was us to like rip to 85K really quick and then obviously reject. But I will say there is these moving averages here is ones that he said to mention or to watch. Obviously, they broke through and rejected down here, rejected off it here and down. We want to watch these because we want to see it reclaim these moving averages. But just that was from last week. And I think good to kind of keep an eye on where we're at because that's at 80 to 85K.
Wait,
Don,
wait. Did Radar tag us in a post? What post did they tag us in?
No, oh, this is Crypto Jones. I actually want to let me see if I can find that Crypto Jones.
Oh, the one you tagged us in. I was like, what did they tag us in? I haven't seen them tweet in a minute. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. That was crazy.
I mean, yeah, tough. Honestly, tough because it was a pretty good performing.
Yeah, I thought. I mean,
for a while,
I thought they were making money. Like, I don't know what. I don't really understand what happened there. They haven't spoken
okay,
on
here.
it, have they?
Here we go. All right, this is 47 minutes ago. This was posted. Crypto Jones, I don't know if this is what you're referring to. Just retag us. But Berlin here, which interesting, has the radar badge. And to how badges work on X, the account that gives you the affiliate badge is the one that has to remove it. So,
Yeah, it's so
all the
weird.
radar people can't remove their badges because radar itself has to remove it. So they might be stuck with those badges for a very long time.
Until Radar stops paying for premium, I guess.
Yeah. So here, wild to think that both Scanor, Peter, knew about that radar hack on January 27th. Okay. And nothing was made public. No transparency, no warning, just silence. Then we're told Solu helped fund 21K to Luke after the fact, yet no wallet, no transaction, no proof. In crypto, if it's real, you post a transaction. Why would anyone advisor oversight? Okay. All right. So maybe some sort of hack here. Okay. I don't know what that is. That's, oh, so interesting. Okay. Live suite. Okay. What is going on? How are these intertwined? Okay. This is, I don't know what we're looking at, but this is wild here. Okay. So live somehow associated with this that went live on Soar.
I think he said, even more ironic, another project they were like working with Rug today. But I think it's kind of separate, just to, yeah.
Okay, Cameo. All right, what is going on?
We just talked with them.
I mean, we just had them on yesterday. That conversation was a little weird. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't get a good sense.
Wait, what's the question here? What's going on? Your creative lead is deleting. Oop, couldn't get it.
Yeah, sorry. Okay. Your creative lead
is deleting messages. Your creative lead was not public about all the shit he was helping with Luke for apparently months. While Radar was near all-time highs, he was along with bad market conditions and talks about future partnerships. You had a coward working with you, and then he shields Camino CA. Well, okay. Well, let's just see. How's Camino doing? What's their ticker again? Camino. Okay, they're actually doing just fine in terms of market cap.
Do you want to pin to that? I'm still reading through this guy's live. I mean, up from yesterday, but to be honest, again, from the take from yesterday's conversation, and I don't know how these are connected, by the way, guys. I'm just reading through it in real time. So I don't want to FUD when it's not warranted, but also wasn't sure exactly what Camille was doing, like trust layer. I understand that for agents, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Either way, whatever. I can riff off this Jane Street article. It's going to take a little while, so you guys got to buckle up for the next 10 minutes at least. But it's a really
really quick. Like, I don't know if there's anything. I'm trying to find if there's anything to leave with on this radar thing. No, I mean, if you're in it, you probably already sold it because it's down to 30K. I guess, look, guys, I commented on my personal one. I said, look, people are probably running out of money in certain areas. Do you have the chart open? Can you go radar and see on January 21st when this hack reportedly happened? What happened to, or January 27th? What was radar doing on Jan 27th?
Let's see.
This is what I want to know.
Get that off the screen. All right, January 27th. This happened a while ago.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow. Here, I got you. I got you. Vertical line, January 27th would have been. What the heck?
That's Feb 2nd, bud. Yeah, keep going. Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Right there.
Yeah, I mean, that's when it kind of started its brutal downturn, but I'm surprised it didn't have like an immediate effect. A few days after it did.
Yeah. Oh man, I mean, this is the risk with it's not a meme coin. Like if it was a meme coin, there's no like, what, like nothing can happen to it. It's a protocol that is generating revenue. So
yeah, it's a weird situation nonetheless.
Weird situation, and it's unfortunate too. But for a long time there, this performed quite well. Good narrative, all this kind of stuff. I think what can be learned from this? I mean, at the end of the day, you have to be transparent as soon as you can. Like if you're the Luke who we had on the show, who seemed like he was very smart in what he was building, I mean, you gotta disclose that within, some hours. So
yeah, well,
yeah, okay, go for
it. As is life, as is crypto, I guess, but sucks to see.
Yeah.
So I can read through this. I can do the Jane Street expose now, or we can do WeSplit. Your call.
No, WeSplit is at 2. So let's do a quick Jane Street check-in.
Okay. Well, I don't know how much time I'll have to get through this, but I'll try
Luckily
to read this article
out early enough. I'm glad to hear that, Crypto Jones. Tough situation for all involved.
All right. Fascinating article here. Let's just go through it, guys. Strap in. It's going to be a bit of a read. And I'll try to jump parts where I can, but the whole thing's pretty fascinating. So Jane Street Exposed, the most powerful trading firm you've never heard of, just got caught with their hands in the cookie jar twice on 2 different continents. And Bitcoin is finally free because of it. Follow me for a sec. Jane Street Group is a quantitative trading firm based in New York. They don't have a CEO. They operate by their own description, like an anarchist commune. They generated $24 billion in net trading revenue in just the first 9 months of 2025, surpassing their entire 2024 haul of $20.5 billion. $24 billion in revenue, net trading revenue, in the firm's first 9 months of 2025. That is nuts. That is nuts. Their Q2 2025 alone was $10.1 billion, the single largest quarterly trading revenue any firm on Wall Street has ever posted. This is Jane Street, by the way. They are, by any measure, the most profitable trading operation on the planet. And this week, the Terraform Labs Bankruptcy Administration filed a lawsuit in Manhattan federal court alleging that Jane Street used insider information to front-run the collapse of Terra Luna in May 2022, a collapse that wiped out $40 billion in value and set off chain reactions that eventually took down Celsius, Three Arrows Capital, and FTX. The allegation is breathtaking in simplicity. On May 7, 2022, Terraform Labs quietly withdrew $150 million UST from Curve Pool, a major decentralized liquidity pool. No public announcement, just a silent pool of liquidity. 10 minutes later, a wallet linked to Jane Street withdrew $85 million from the same pool. 10 minutes. And here's the whole trade diagram you can see. The lawsuit alleges that a former Terraform intern named Bryson Pratt who joined Jane Street, a full-time employee in September 2021, established back-channel communications with his old colleague at Terraform. He allegedly funneled material non-public information about Terraform's liquidity moves directly to the Jane Street trading desk. Also, I'll let you know, guys, Jane Street has an internship salary of $300,000 for the first 6 months, I believe. $300K for 6 months. They got money. There's more about Pratt here. The complied names for defendants: Jane Street Group LLC, co-founder Robert Janeri, and employees Bryce Pratt and Michael Hong. The administration statements cut to the bone. Jane Street made trades that would have been impossible without inside information to which it has unique access. And here's where it gets worse. The lawsuit alleges that Jane Street withdrawal helped trigger the depaying of UST, which sent the entire Terraform ecosystem into a death spiral. Luna dropped from $80 to near zero. $40 billion evaporated. Regular people lost everything: retirements, savings, college funds, lifetimes of work, gone in days. Jane Street's response? They called it desperate and baseless. But here's the thing. This isn't the first rodeo. This is where it gets crazy, guys. In July 2025, India's Securities and Exchange Board, the SEBI, hit Jane Street with one of the largest market manipulation charges in the country's history. SEBI's investigation found that across 18 derivative expiry days between January 2023 and March 2025, Jane Street ran a textbook pump and dump on the Bank Nifty index. The playbook was mechanical. In the morning, Jane Street algorithms aggressively bought the Bank Nifty component stock and futures, driving the index up by 1 to 1.3% on some days. SEBI found that Jane Street alone accounted for the entire positive price impact of the index. Simultaneously, they loaded up on short options position, mainly selling calls and buying puts at ratios that were wildly out of proportion to their stock positions. SEBI found that the options positions were 7.3 times larger in delta equivalent terms than the stock and futures legs. That is not hedging. That is not arbitrage. This is directional manipulation with extra steps. In the afternoon, they reversed course, sold all the stock they bought in the morning. The index dropped, the short option and printed, rinse and repeat every day. So, of course, they're buying up on one hand. They're shorting when they sell on the other hand, printing on the shorts. Okay. And this is how Jane Street makes money. Jane Street makes money from shorts predominantly. SEBI's assessment, 4,843 rupees, or whatever the heck that is, or krone, in illicit gains, roughly 580 million. They called Jane Street's behavior a deliberately devised device to manipulate settlement prices. They know that Jane Street continued this strategy even after the National Stock Exchange issued an explicit advisory warning in February of 2025. But you guys get the point there. Jane Street was barred from India's securities market. They deposited the 560 million into escrow and immediately appealed. As of today, the case is still being heard at India's Securities Appellate Tribunal. So they're still under fire for this. Okay, so now let's talk about Bitcoin. You guys know the whole lore on Bitcoin. They went through the 10 a.m. slam very often. We saw this was documented by Zero Hedge ad nauseum. He talked about this quite a bit. But the 10 a.m. slam is set to be blamed on Jane Street. Okay. The numbers were significant. Charts from December 2025 show Bitcoin dropping from 89 to 87.7. Wiping out 171 million in leverage longs. Not going to really talk about too much about this because we have covered this 10 a.m. slam quite a bit. The finger pointed lands squarely on Jane Street, and for good reason. Jane Street is one of the 4 authorized participants for BlackRock's IBIT, the world's largest spot Bitcoin ETF. The other 3 are Virtue America's, JP Morgan Securities, and Matrix. As an AP, Jane Street has the unique ability to create and redeem ETF shares, which means they directly plug into the pipes and move Bitcoin in and out of institutional wrappers. Their 13F filing confirms massive positioning. Jane Street held 5.7 billion in IBIT shares as of their Q3 2025 filing. They added another 276 million in Q4, bringing their total to over 20 million shares worth roughly 790 million at the year-end price. At peak exposure, they held nearly 2.5 billion in IBIT. Okay, you can see that here. But here's what makes it suspect. While allegedly dumping spot Bitcoin every morning, Jane Street simultaneously increased their MicroStrategy position by 473% in Q4, according to 951,100, accumulating 951,000 shares worth about 121 million. This is while other major funds like BlackRock, Vanguard were divesting billions into Mr. Think about that for a second. Sell Bitcoin at the open, crash the price, liquidate the leverage longs, buy back cheaper. Meanwhile, load up on the most leveraged Bitcoin proxy on the market for the inevitable recovery. The Glassnode co-founder, blah, 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 blah. So you get the idea here. Then it documents the 1:10 a.m. after the lawsuit was filed. Bitcoin pumped like 10%. This is assuming that the correlation here is Jane Street being gone.
So they basically traded the inefficiency here is that MSTR was leveraged. Basically, the stock was levered, and they sucked out all the leverage there, I guess.
Yeah, well, they also knew if Bitcoin bounces 1%, MicroStrategy is going to bounce 1.25 or 2%.
Yeah.
And so they would be using that as okay, we're going to massively dump into the open. There's going to be an initial recovery into the slower hours of the afternoon.
But where are they getting the Bitcoin, the spot Bitcoin? They were getting it from iBit, etc.
Yeah, so they were one of the four unique people that were able to buy directly through institutional wrappers like this.
Wow.
But pretty crazy. Like, man, seeing some of this stuff is kind of eye-opening.
Look, at the end of the day, Anna said it best. Traders will trade, and if they see a market inefficiency, they'll take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, MSTR got themselves into this position just through poor treasury management. Like, he says he'll buy the top forever. At the end of the day, it's money, right? And the trade's good when it's going, but when it goes against you, it goes against you in a big way, and someone will squeeze you. So
another note on this too, when the SEC approved spot Bitcoin ETFs in January, they required cash only creation and redemption.
Yeah.
Rather than in kind. Every time shares needed to be created or redeemed, someone had to buy or sell actual Bitcoin, and the firms plugged into that process. The authorized participants had a structural advantage over every other participant in the market. Yeah.
I mean,
just like you said,
and what the difference here is in kind means that if I sell iBit, I can choose to take the Bitcoin itself versus the cash. And the cash comes from them, like Jane Street, then taking my Bitcoin that's in iBit, selling it on the market, and then giving me the cash. So I knew this was going to happen. I've talked about this for actually 2 years now. All right, we got to get Pauloon Moon on here to talk about the next split cash.
I'll try to wrap this segment real quick because I think this is important too. JP Morgan traders Greg Smith and Michael Newark were found guilty of spoofing in the precious metals future market, a scheme that ran for 8 years involving thousands of illegal trades. JP Morgan paid $920 million, almost $1 billion in settlement. Deutsche Bank paid $30 million for the same thing. UBS, HSBC, and 6 individual traders all face CFTC charges for anti-spoofing. The same playbook, different assets. Yeah. So again, we've seen this before, but I think it's pretty crazy, man. It's a great article. There's many articles documenting this. This is one of many, but then you document the co-founder that's still around, and some of the other stuff. It gets pretty crazy.
But the good news here is the lawsuit will stop some of this behavior, because if they do it now after the lawsuit, they can go to jail for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
but again, that's why they're in this market where they're going to get a slap on the wrist, right? We all know it. But I think that's what Josh is saying is completely correct. Now they're not going to be doing it in the future, hopefully, because they have been warned and they know the consequences. But before this, it was kind of like Wild West, right? They could do whatever they want, and until someone stopped them, But we are actually recovering on the day, down 0.77 from 2% down. So maybe this is the 10 a.m. slam playbook, right? We got the 10 a.m. slam. We're getting a little recovery here. Wait till tomorrow.
All the other algorithms are still on, except Jane Streets have turned off, which is good.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Let's pivot here. We have WeSplit, another app in the Mountain DAO hackathon. Is it Pauloon?
Hey.
How do you pronounce your name?
Oh, my name is Pauline.
Pauline. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you all. Happy to be able to open the call with you.
This is awesome. Yeah. We're excited to get into it. You're at Mountain DAO right now?
Yeah, I've been here for the whole month at Mountain DAO. The energy is just incredible. There is so many great builders, and we can meet people from the foundation. And honestly, they are helping us so much to just build our products and push the marketing and everything. So it's very amazing.
Yeah, how does that whole structure work?
So Mountain DAO, this is a 1 month sort of co-working space in Salt Lake City in Utah. And so basically, different projects have been accepted to just come and work together for one whole month. And just yesterday, they did the first ever demo day of Mountain DAO in front of the foundation that was live streamed on the different Solana accounts.
And you got I think I saw a tweet that you got a tattoo. Is that true? At
Yes.
Mountain DAO? Can we
I
see
got
that?
I got a tattoo. Like,
Oh yeah,
I
there
don't
we
know if you
go.
can see it. It's a
It's a
little
mountain.
mountain.
It's upside down because you're holding your art upside down. But assuming when you look down at it, the mountain's the right way, right?
Yeah, there was a little mountain
good.
with stars because this was such an incredible adventure. I just wanted to like get this on my skin and just be able to have this like souvenir forever.
Good for you. I'm gonna try and find that tweet. They had like I obviously a tattoo artist is the lore there. And I saw you, and then now I'm seeing you in real person, which is so funny. Okay, cool.
Yeah, there
That's
were tattoo
electric.
artists that did a lot of mountain tattoos and Solana tattoos for the whole month. This was incredible to just get tattooed in the office. You don't see this often.
No, you definitely
No,
don't.
I mean, there's a little. So we're traders, and we always like seeing a little bit at risk. I think this is the builder equivalent. Is get your hackathon that you may or may not get funded at tattooed on you. Just have that little element of risk.
Yeah,
something at
this is
stake.
the risk.
Have you been doing any skiing? We're asking some of the other guests. Have they been doing any skiing at Mountain DAO?
I did last week. So I'm not someone who know how to ski. So I just went to the mountain and like do some snowmen and all of this. But it was my first time seeing so much snow. I'm from France in a part that there is no snow, like never. It's never snowing where I live in. So it was amazing to just see all this snow living in the mountain for 1 month. It was incredible.
That's good. Okay, well, we're glad you're having that experience. We got to get out there sometime. Maybe the next year. But sweet. Let's get into it, Pauline. Maybe a little bit on yourself and your background, and then we can get into WeSplit.
So yeah, I'm the founder of WeSplit, and basically I'm a product designer. I've been working in the Solana ecosystem for 3 years now, and I've been just following and being a user of Solana for 5 years, but really building different projects for 3 years now. I did different projects from like no-code builder for dApps and try to do some vaults for stable coins. But we had at one point an idea that was having a splitwise for stable coins. This was the idea that came when last year we were like at Hacker House in France, and some guy just paid for everyone when he wanted to get paid back in crypto, but not a lot of people were very used to like paying back in crypto. So we had this idea of just creating an application that could let people just share different moments in life much more easily. We don't want just to say we are splitwise. You are not just splitting deals and we split. You can basically split everything, like just shared moments, and we are handling all the maths. So you basically create a dedicated wallet and you manage right, you top up funds, and you can use this money to pay for different events in your life. Like next breakpoint, when you are going and you're going with your friends, you just want to easily be able to top up all this money and just share the cost, and you can do it via WeSplits.
This is interesting. We're starting to actually see this in traditional finance, I think, in a few places. I think like Uber is offering this, and there's some other places that allow you like split bills through different mechanisms. You guys have a ton of partners here, or I see these names scrolling through on the bottom. Are you like, what's the relationship with some of these guys?
So we have some partnerships with Phantom, also with like Alchemy, Super Teams. So they are helping us build more like on the technical side. The great thing is that on WeSplit, since we really want to be social, we have this community hub where every community can just provide a sort of badge for the members that give them more like perks in the application. And so we've onboarded like 10 communities, like the different Super Teams, Monkey DAOs, Nomus, and like different communities that just want to be together in one app and share everything in one app. And we also have like a great partnership with Spend. Spend are like a platform that lets you basically buy everything in crypto. You just put the link of what you want to buy in crypto and you can do it. No upfront, no KYC, so it's very easy. And we saw like a great fit for WeSplit to just be able to provide them with the ability to do some crypto split payments. So if you are buying, we are roommates, we are buying something from Amazon and we want to split it, you can do it directly in crypto. No upfront, no reals like, oh, you owe me that and just request money. So all that in one place.
Yeah, I can definitely see the value in the value prop here. It's interesting though. I feel like we're still in a place where crypto's so early stages. We don't have a lot of commerce going through crypto rails. I have to ask, how do you foresee commerce just growing on crypto?
Says the guy that runs a live stream where we pay everyone in crypto.
Yeah, right.
I think there is like a growing adoption of crypto in like commerce and retail. We have like lots of people, not just like big companies, but also like small enterprise, small retail shop that are more and more willing to accept crypto because this is a great way for them to just diversify like the people they can reach. Sorry, sometimes the conversion forward in French is difficult.
No, you're doing great.
And so, yeah, I know that in France we have like this city called Cannes where there is ETH Cannes every year, and the mayor just not forced but promoted the fact that merchant could pay in crypto. So now every like merchant or retail shop you are going in this city, you can just pay in crypto, not just with crypto cards, but really they have a QR code and you can just scan it and pay whatever you are buying in crypto. So I think this is
in
like
Con, they have like people accept stablecoin payments.
Yeah, it's since the last ETH Cannes, I think it was like in September or something like that. And the mayor was so happy that this event was happening in Cannes. He said, okay, we need every merchant to accept crypto because there will be lots of crypto native people coming. So I think this is something that is growing more and more. And I would love to see more people, not just in France, but around the world to accept crypto native payments.
That is really fascinating that we're starting to see. We're also starting to see like, I think just the emergence of QR pay and tap to pay. And I think a thesis we've had on this show is that eventually that's just going to become all crypto rails. So it's a natural evolution there. How are you guys thinking about this? Because it's a very niche business that you're building here. Are you guys thinking about starting here niche? And like, I think I really enjoy seeing founders do that because you have to start niche to grow bigger. But is this like the end goal product? Are you trying to grow multiple products, or how are you guys looking at that?
We are trying to build multiple products. So right now, WeSplit is like the sort of basic consumer app where you can just split payment together. But we are looking into providing different solutions like web apps, Telegram bots, not just to split bills, but if you want to invest together, to play together, you can do it via WeSplit. So just like co-play, co-investment, and all of this, I think there is like a bigger and bigger thing around this. The good thing we really want to like bring WeSplit to is being a very easy to use DeFi platform. So even if you are from the Web2 ecosystem and you want to have a first entry point in Web3, you can like just use WeSplit. We try to have like a user experience and onboarding that is very easy for people who are not crypto natives.
Time out. I had a great idea. So I don't know if this is what you're planning on doing, but one of the problems with, let's say, meme coin trading specifically is like, I say, hey, Dom, I'm like thinking of entering this like position in this meme coin. It's like, let's say it's 100K market cap. There's always a challenge where it's like, oh, do I get my $500 in first, or does Dom get his $500 in first? Like if I get my $500, Dom's buying at a, I'm instantly in profit. I think a great feature is the ability to, like there's some sort of escrow or the bot says, hey, Dom, deposit your $200. I deposit my $200 and then it buys it in the same transaction. So our execution price is the exact same. Versus, if I invest after or before him, the price is different for each of us. Is that kind of what you're thinking about?
Yeah, this is exactly what we think of doing with like this co-investing platform. So we are moving to a web app right now. So we will always be secure first and mobile first, but we are expanding to like a sort of web app when you can just add different features. And the co-investing you are talking about, this is like the main thing we want to add on the web app. Really like just being able to co-invest together at the same price at the same moment without saying, yeah, put first and I'm coming and I'm putting after, and like the price is different, and maybe one of
Yeah.
you guys will not put the money when they are saying they will put it. So this is exactly like the vision we have of co-investing in.
Here's the workflow, right? So you figure out a way to generate an address, and then I send, for instance, I'll send Dom that address. He has a way to grab that address, put it in a WeSplit platform to just verify it is the correct address, and that I'm not sending him an address just to a random wallet that I get the funds. Then he deposits his funds. It says I deposited my funds. Then boom, as soon as both funds are in, it executes the transaction.
Yes, this is
There's
like
the workflow for you.
how we are thinking of it exactly. So I'm
Right.
taking notes, and we'll be happy if you can test the features when it's live. Not sure it will
Yeah,
be
yeah.
live like tomorrow, but this is something that we want to add on WeSplit.
All right. And yeah, let Vesper know at Mountain at Meteor that that was that we figured that out on stream. I hope that's a product that blows up for you. That would be great. We'd love that.
Yeah, no, I think it's fascinating. We're definitely headed in this direction where we're going to see a lot more commerce on chain. How are you guys thinking about positioning for partnerships in that sense? Like, are you trying to get integrated into Phantom and a bunch of these different apps to where it's just like an embedded option for them, or how are you guys looking at that?
So right now we really want to first build our own community, get users on WeSplit. The thing is, we don't want to be integrated on a Phantom or Soulflare, because that way we will just be a features, and this is not something that the vision we have for WeSplit is. So the other way we are doing is you can just use your Phantom wallet or your Soulflare wallet that you are already using in your daily life just to split with WeSplit. So you don't have to create another wallet. You can just use one you already have. So this is the way we found to just get their users coming on WeSplit. They don't have to duplicate a wallet. They can just connect with it. And even like for secure user, so for the Solana mobile phone, this is really nice for them because they can just use the secured seed vault from the wallet, from the phone.
Got you. And you guys have an ICO going, I see over here, on Sega Pad. Can you walk us through a bit about this and how you're thinking about it, why you chose Sega Pad as the launch partner here, and all that good stuff?
So just to give like a bit of context about SagaPad is a seeker first launchpad. So they are helping very early stage projects raising money to develop on Seeker. So for us, since we are Seeker first, because the first version of WeSplit will be and is already live on Seeker, Android, and iOS, this was a great thing for us. The goal for this ICO was not just raising or just launching a token. To be able to just go after the vision we have, we need a bit of help and a bit of money to just add all the upfront stake costs. And so we started the ICO yesterday. The thing is, we are in a deep bear market. And so the ICO, even with all the coverage we are getting from the foundation, from Mountain DAO, from our partners, we have a big issue to just getting it like going up. So now we are actively trying to just make people understand that this is not just another meme coin, not just another token that has no utility. These tokens will be serving in like the whole WeSplit ecosystem. So now we are just trying to spread the word about like this ICO and how we are going to use it. We've made like a whole tokenomics explanation of like the split token that we're like going after. And for the next week, if we succeed with the ICO, we have like lots of features that are going around this token.
Yeah, do you want to talk about some of the details here and maybe some features of the token that you just kind of alluded to here?
Yeah, of course. So for this ICO, we have a soft cap at 75K and a hard cap at 300. So we love the fact that this ICO is capped. We don't like uncapped ICO. We know how much we need, and we don't need more for this. We don't want to get more money that is needed actually. So with SagaPad, the great thing is you put a soft cap at 75K. If you go past it, it's nice. You are keeping like everything between 75K and 300. if it's less than that 75K, people get reimbursed. And if it's more, same thing. The people that put more money than 300K gets reimbursed as well. And so this split token, we want to bring it with utility, because right now in WeSplit, you have this split token when you are doing basic actions like you are splitting with people and you are creating groups and you are engaging with like other members from the WeSplit application. You receive split points. But this point doesn't have any values, and it was really hard for us to create a sort of split points economy. So we want to inject this token into the split points rewards we are getting right now. Not just, we are not very like around doing just airdrops to people, but we want to incentivize and rewards the people that are actually using WeSplit with some of the split tokens.
Huh, this is, I mean, I'm reading through this page. It looks really good. I mean, in the last 6 weeks, you want to talk a bit about some of your growth here? Because it looks like you've onboarded 500 active users on Seeker, facilitated over 800 shared expense transactions, processed 12K in settlement volume. You talk about your backers here, right? With Phantom, Monkey DAO, Spend, Totally, Sharkpool, and Super Team. Like some of this stuff looks really good. How are you guys seeing growth? And I'd love to also get into the economics of the business and hear how you guys turn a profit here.
So we announced ICO yesterday, and like we are getting so much traction. Like just in 24 hours, we got 200 more people signing up on WeSplit. It was really amazing. And so the way we are like creating a business model around WeSplit is, of course, we're taking like fees on transaction. The thing is, and if you are staying inside the WeSplit ecosystem, we are taking close to no fees. When you are leaving the WeSplit ecosystem, we are taking much more fees. The goal with WeSplit is not just to survive on fees, because this is a very hard business model. You need to have lots of volume in the application. So we are now looking with like different partners. We've built an old API, so different merchants and protocol can provide crypto split payments. We are also moving to doing different partnerships, like you said, with retail. Just people can pay via scanning a QR code through the WeSplit wallet. So we are really building everything around this to not just survive on the fees, on the transaction fees in the app, but really develop the whole ecosystem we can build.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, that's some good growth. What is like the relationship when you say endorsements from Phantom, Monkey DAO, Totally? Is that them just recognizing you guys, or what does that actually constitute?
So Phantom, we are actually partners with them. They built this Phantom Connect that is like a seedless wallet connection. They asked us during the beta phase to just integrate Phantom Connect on WeSplit, because our goal with WeSplit is really to be social. So this was a great way for us to just onboard people that are very new to the ecosystem with a Google connection or Apple connection. And all of this is powered by Phantom. So it's very secure and not just us doing some SSO and creating our own wallet in the background. For Monkey DAO, we are announcing, I think, next week, the fact that all the monkeys in Monkey DAO, that all the people that hold an NFT, they will get special rewards in the WeSplit application.
Okay.
So with the Matrika connection and all of that. Spend is, like I said just prior, this application that lets you pay anything in USDC. You just put a link and you pay in USDC. They were actually our first partners. 1 week after we announced WeSplit, I think it was in October, we've made these great partnerships, and they're the one who pushed us to just build this API so we can connect with more people like them. Also, a great thing that happened during Mountain DAO is that we met Nick from Sharkpool. So Sharkpool is a student validator that are pushed by the Solana Foundation, and they wanted to launch a sort of Shark Tank, but just to incubate student-led projects. So the thing is, I'm a student, my co-founder is a student, so we were in the scope for this incubation. We started with Sharkpool, I think it was one or 2 weeks ago, and when they announced the WeSplit announcement, we've got this retweet by Tolly. It was really nice to go on the Tolly radar, if I can say.
Nice. That's awesome. That's really good. I would love to know, out of all these transactions you're seeing, in the last 6 weeks here. What are people spending the most money on in terms of like what are they splitting bills on most often?
Oh, we don't have access to the things that are splitting because right now we don't have a credit card. They still need to offer this to their own cash card or Circular card. But the thing we see the most, mainly on socials or on our Telegram channel, is people that are going to crypto events, like for Mountain DAO, for ETH Denver, or even people started to prepare for Breakpoint. This is really around like big events in crypto. The other main thing is we have a project that just want to manage their treasury together, and they want to do it in a transparent way where they can just manage the rights, top up the funds, and have different like rights about who can access the money, who can add expenses, and just have one whole page where they can have access to the whole treasury. So this is like the main two things, the crypto events and the small project that are just getting started. And they like the fact that we are providing like full custom governance.
Yeah, I really like when I'm looking at this too. I love the caps, and I think I love the transparency here. The issue with a lot of these ICOs, like you said, is people don't know what kind of token price they're going to get when it launches. And so I'm glad you have that all stated there. And you know, we are early too. It's like most of the commits end up happening in the last hours, which you typically seen. So you know, you're still early, and I think everyone gets a really good idea from this page of what you guys are offering here.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
like.
We are always saying like all these big ICOs just getting like hundreds of dollars in the first hours, then nothing happening for 2 days, and on the last day everyone is coming. For us, we know it's a bear market, so we took the risk of doing this because the momentum we are getting from Mountain DAO, from being in front of the foundation, and just to be able to talk with all these person, we know when we would get back to France, it will be hard to recreate this momentum and launching the ICO at this moment. So that's why we wanted to do it now. And we have like many people that are ready to join the ICO. So we are really happy about that. Yeah.
Okay, so last question about the token here. How do you guys like to think about that in terms of utility? Is this going to be some sort of shared upside in the business? Me as someone interested, let's say, what do I get a piece of if I buy the token?
So if you buy a token and you stack it on WeSplit, we will provide different like tiers rewards. First, the goal of WeSplit is that we are a social platform, and the main thing is, of course, we talk about splitting. The thing is, we want to co-build every product with the community, and that's what happened for like the past 2 months. Every time we are thinking of a new features, we are thinking of something, we want to have the feedbacks and the actually like learning the ideas about the people. So this is a way for you, if you're a WeSplit token holder, to just get access on this. You can really be a part of like co-building WeSplit with us, not just being passive and like holding the token. We want to reward you if you're helping us co-building, and just we want to learn about your needs as a person, because this is the goal for WeSplit. While we are always saying we want you to focus on life and on the moment that matters, and that we are just managing the complexity, the math, and all the money movements. So this is the main goal for us, that you get like you are being part really of the co-construction of WeSplit.
Got it. The UI looks really good based on these pictures. What I'm seeing, I think you guys have really nailed that on the head
Thank
here.
you.
You're welcome. How many people are working on this right now? You mentioned you and your co-founder. Is that the full team right there?
So we have 3 people. One dev, like we have a CTO that is handling everything. So he did an amazing job, because we had this product before coming to Mountain DAO, and in 2 weeks, he just said, okay, we need to like not shut down everything, but basically we work everything from scratch, because there are so many feedback that we get and so many improvements that we could have made. He did all of this in 2 weeks. If you download the application right now, all of this was made during the first 2 weeks of Mountain DAO.
Love it.
Then we have Remy, who is more helping us on the BD side. So he is the one getting after all the merchant, the partners, just to get WeSplit integrated in different projects. And then I will be the one handling like all the product vision, the design. So I'm the one who did the design. That's why I'm very happy you like it. And my goal is really to provide like a great user experience, because I think this is the thing that is missing in crypto right now. We have so many great projects with amazing devs, but when you are going on the application, you actually don't really know what to do with it, because the user experience is kind of complicated and fractionated. So this was a goal for us.
Love it. Love it. Well, thanks for those answers. I think we've really covered a lot here. I got a good gist of what you guys are building. You kind of got to showcase it a bit through these images here, and you walked us through everything. Anything you want to leave the people with in regards to WeSplit and what you guys are doing?
Yeah, I just want to let people know to like come and test WeSplit. The thing is, we want to co-build with you. So if you have great ideas, a great way we can improve the product, we just want to do this like with you guys.
Thank you. We have a couple questions in the chat here, so we'll pull those up, let you answer. Crypto Jones asks, could WeSplit be used as a crowdfunding platform, possibly with some sort of governance on how funds are spent? Have you guys thought about anything like that?
Being a crowdfunding platform, no, this was not a use case we ever thought about, but this is a great one. WeSplit was mainly focused right now on the governance of our funds are spent. So you can't really crowdfund with WeSplit, but after you crowdfunding on the platform, you can just manage everything in a transparent way. But I need to say, the infrastructure of WeSplit could be using for a crowdfunding one, because you can just create a dedicated groups and share like the groups you are doing, you custom it, you add informations. And yeah, after that, everyone can top up funds to help you, and you can manage it at expense, and they can see everything happening. So I think this is like a use case that could be happening on WeSplit right now. We did not make the platform for this use case specifically, but you can do it. Like this is a great use case. This is a very great use case. Thank you.
There you go. There you go. You can leave with some ideas, hopefully. Okay.
MCG doing the product, helping with a little product research there.
That's great.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we appreciate your time. It was great chatting with you. I mean, you have a lot of like energy and joy to your character, so we'd love to see that. And you're welcome. And the tattoo is a good way to.
Yeah, here, let's get can we get like a picture with a tattoo? I don't know if Dom, you can maybe let's do vertical mode and show the tattoo, because that was iconic. Sorry.
Wait.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
There
awesome.
It is. Oh,
it's still new. I still have the second skin on it, but yeah.
Okay, so you can't go swimming or anything for like a couple little while, huh?
Yeah, I can't put it in the sun or in the water, so
I'll tag Mountain Dow that you're on the show and showing the tattoo.
It's hilarious.
Awesome. Thank you. Perfect.
Very fun. Well,
yeah, thanks for having me. Thank you for having me, and have a great end of the show.
Thank you.
Awesome. See you.
Thank you.
Peace. That's hilarious. I love the tattoo. That's commitment.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was cool that they had a tattoo artist there. I saw that. I'm like,
how many people are taking that, man? Was it just Pauline here?
Do you have a tattoo?
I don't. No.
No.
My lady's not a fan, so I withheld, man. In high school, I was I had like 20 tattoos I wanted, something big across my back, something here.
What are you trying to get? Lower back? What are we doing here? Come on.
No, dude, upper back. Upper back. I was trying to get like
like what some I don't know around.
I was trying to get the Lord's Supper all the way across my back, dude.
Actually that's sick. That's sick.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
I don't know, dude. There was so much. I had big plans, but I've been dating my girl for a long time now, and she was not feeling it.
She's shaping the future of what her life's gonna look like. She's like, I don't want that.
It's okay. If it was my decision, I'd probably have like a neck tattoo or something by now. So I think we did well. But all right,
I'm curious to know, guys, if you have a tattoo or you have a tattoo suggestion for Dom, please let us know in the chat what that is.
Oh man, I'm sure we could get a lot of interesting, questionable suggestions.
What ticker should Dom tattoo on his back?
Yeah, guys.
What's the ticker? Chat?
Most commented ticker will get tattooed on on my ass cheeks. How's that sound?
Oh man, that's hilarious. Okay.
Josh, I don't have much more to cover, to be honest. I think we really got it today. Hasn't been too much.
Berlin did respond on the radar stuff, saying looks like they should do a little more research for letting others on their show. Just so you know, man, we do a lot of research, bro. But
Yeah,
mostly
honestly,
we rely on the token being live in market with an already $700,000 market cap, which is it's in itself crowd research, right? Because people are doing research, doing
Wait, Josh,
DD.
you're telling me the guy with the fucking badge is telling us to do more research?
Bro, the guy with a radar badge is
guy's a
trying to
fucking
tell
clown.
us to do research. Bro, you're like,
You're a
don't make me pull up tweets, bro. You don't want,
You're a clown, bro.
don't want me to do that.
I mean, dude, it's a show. We have multiple hosts on every single day of the week. I mean, you want to come on MCG?
We do
and do our
250 shows. Actually, it's more like 260 now.
Yeah.
Interviews, sorry, not shows. 260
dude.
interviews.
Berlin, clown activity, bro. Clown activity. Don't come and talk to us about stuff like that. You got a fucking badge. Like, you're lame.
Yeah.
How about Berlin comes on? Berlin can come on and talk his shit.
No, look, we don't want to be confrontational too much, but I did find that interesting on the timeline.
Well, you know, the irony is I saw Berlin's name too pop up in this whole conversation. I didn't say anything. Berlin's like notoriously known for buying shit coins and low caps and then just shilling them on his channel for extra liquidity. Like, this is not the most upright character. So to comment on our stuff is hilarious. Someone who does it transparently and shows all true sides of a project. It's like, dude, chill out.
Yeah, and to be fair, he was on at like 600K and the thing ran to 5 mil. So if we didn't cover it, like what are we gonna do?
Nothing more to speak on that, dude. That's
nothing more to speak
clown
on
activity, bro. If he's got something to say, I'd be happy to let him on and I'd crush his dreams. But until then, out of our mentions, bro. Fuck out of our mentions. All right, boys. I don't think we got much more to say. We can close on that, unless you got something, Josh.
No, look, guys, just stay safe out there. That's all I'm gonna say. These markets are rough. We're seeing projects blow up here and there, people grifting, the usual behavior. And I mean, the grifting's happening at the highest level. It's happening at the Jane Street level. I hate to see all this. So, but stay safe. And I don't know. I don't think there's any other tickers out there.
Yeah, let me just comment real quick.
Just be nice with it. Let's just. I think I commented. I think my comment was very good. So just let's just take it easy on that. I think I don't even think it's worth. I don't even think it's worth too much of a.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not. Not worth any time. I'll shoot him a quick response, but I'll go easy on him. MTG task for all the hosts. Let's go.
And guess. And guess.
Crypto Jones need a tramp stamp, dude. MTG tramp stamps for the entire squad. All right.
Yeah, I don't see anything worth, guys. Any tickers? Last call. I don't see anything in the. I don't see anything in the timeline worth covering.
Friday is the day we'll cover all the tickers and stuff. Trader Radio.
Yeah, we'll try and trench tomorrow and find some stuff.
Gable, I'll check out Gable. Let's
Gable, yeah, that one has gotten brought up. Shout out Nathan. I've seen you now twice with the Gable.
I don't know if I can show this one though.
Is it super low?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
no better than Berlin if we show this one, but I'll do it. Why not?
Hey guys, the floor has dropped a little bit. This is just from a request. We used to.
What's the TLDR?
Yeah, you got to give us a TLDR on these. I think this was a game on bags. Is this on bags? I think this is a game on bags.
Yeah, it looks like it. It's on Meteora, so it's a game. The thing is games, bro. It's just like how well do these things do in this market? Ugh. It's bags meta. Oh, you know what? I guess I did see, bro. Speaking of games, here's what I will do. What about the Capybara game I was talking about the other day on stream from Played Off Fun? was actually doing really well.
Games meta. Did we say bags? Yeah, bags, right? I didn't want to mispronunciate that. Sorry, Dom, go ahead.
Here, no, we'll check this out and then I'll get into the other one because the capybara we had on stream yesterday. I had it on stream as a joke, just like pulling up the game and chilling. And it was like 31K. It was at like 650 today, last I checked, or something. Which obviously I didn't take a trade on it, but it was just funny to see. Let's see. Gable Guardians, Enter the Unknown, massive 2D pixel art MMORPG built on the Solana blockchain. Man, it's just so hard to bid to like gaming tokens right now, to be honest with you. But here, let's see. Is the game good? Is the game solid? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I'm not connected at all. The visual, it sounds nice. I was gonna say the visuals, but the audio sounds nice. I'm not gonna connect my wallet though. Is there gameplay? I'll look up. Let me see if I can find some gameplay here. GA.
Yeah, we don't like connecting our wallets to every single project that comes on stream.
No, that we don't. But here, I'll pull this up. I mean, I don't know, bro. How hard is it to make a game like this? We've seen people try and fail in gaming so often. I probably fade, but I mean, hey, maybe I'll go connect a burner to it later and try it out. So
what's low cap? What is low cap saying?
Be thankful you can still ape Gable at 50K. Clearly doing what Tolly has been asking for. Great minds think alike. You can use your Seeker to play, but you can also win Seeker. Okay, so you can play a game and win a native token, I guess. Totally said, build an app for the Seeker that gets users to spend their Seeker and buy more phones with Seeker to increase the number of users so dev apps can earn more Seeker. I don't know, but it's in the record. If it goes crazy, Nathan was here calling it, so I don't know. I have like 20 burner wallets, Crypto Jones. I don't know. Don't feel like connecting right now.
It's gotta be the bar has got to be somewhere. So the bar's here, and anything below it is kind of just like not meeting the bar.
Do y'all think AI is the only coin that'll last in this bear market? I mean, what else is gonna last outside of AI? I guess private equities, of course. Like we like those. You know, like CPT, I guess is not really AI. It's more hardware and drones, robotics, things of that nature. So I guess there are some bets I place, but I think, dude, I hold like very few coins right now in this market. There's really not a lot worth holding. And you guys know what I hold, right? It's like Orgo, Clad, Met. You know, I hold some outliers, but not much. Have you all seen Binder on Soul?
Binder on Soul. Let's take a look.
Dude, I haven't. How did I miss this? Oh, it launched quite a while ago. I say quite a while, but only been 12 days. No, I haven't seen this. It's at 2 mil though. Binder Portal, creators of SPL 722, the first launchpad merging fungible and non-fungible tokens. No, okay. This is not the first launchpad merging fungible and non-fungible tokens. ERC 7004, I believe, has done that, has enabled that quite a while ago. Let's see.
How many name changes does this account have? I
don't have
December 2025. You click join December 2025. If you go down it right there, go up, just click on that. They'll say one username change. Okay.
One. Interesting. Yeah, I got AlphaGate on.
But what's crazy is it's just gonna get 12,000 followers from December 2020, like in 2 months, in the worst market ever.
That is pretty crazy. I guess people had some hype for it. Clearly, I mean, you saw the chart; it got incredible hype at.
It's true, but like, yeah, I guess so. But like, yeah. But think about what it takes to get a chart up there again in these markets. It's just like it kind of gets the death candle in the first chart, and then unless they do something spectacular and really drive business results, is it really a buy after that? It's tough.
Let me play this audio. Let me see if I can
Ave, give us a thesis. Like, is there anything that stands out beyond narrative? Like, is there any core metrics, volume, users, like anything we can point to and be like, yeah, that's working?
You can launch with an NFT. Okay, let's see. Let's see if it breaks down how to work here, and we can make an assumption.
Token powering our native SPL 722 standard. Utilize Binder to access our Launchpad via 2 methods of deployment. Standard flow. Bind existing tokens to new digital collectibles. Pre-order flow. Launch new tokens via our Pump Layer 2. Once your pre-order has been filled, the token is launched, bound to your collectibles, and airdropped to the pre-order participants. Binder Liquidity Flywheel. When a token launches via our L2, 70% of creator fees are distributed back to the deployer. 30% of creator fees are sent to the Binder buyback wallet. Each launch equals more Binder buyback pressure. When we win, you win.
The old when we win, you win situation.
Dude, I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
not really bullish anything NFTs right now, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know if I really fully understand the model though.
It said a pump L2. Here, watch this. This is a cool video.
Right. Entering token name, little Pepe, set your vest cliff on and off. Okay, so it's a launch pad, right? But I don't understand, launch without an NFT is not just like every other launch pad. Print bond shares, a new distribution mechanism that powers our upcoming binder curve. One-click launch on our L2, trading our initial virtual curve, migrate to Pump Fund, active binder tokenomics. I'm not sure if I'm fully understanding it, to be honest with you boys. Okay.
Here's one thing I'll say. If you're an app builder in this space, make sure that when people go to your page, they can see something other than connect your wallet right away.
Mm-hmm.
Give them a little something into the thing, and then
gate it.
Yeah.
Here, maybe I can get through. Okay.
Okay, here
so
we
yeah,
go.
it's a
This
launch
is what-
pad. Doggy max supply 1,000 pre-order. So I don't understand this NFT collections and tokens, or where does the token come into it? Because I remember there was ERC007, I believe it was called, where one token equaled one NFT, and if you had a token, you could mint an NFT, and it was pegged at like $1,000. Like you would buy them for like $1,000 a token. Saw some good traders hyping it a while ago. FOMO Cabal. Berlin. No.
Is there any, do you see any metrics like platform volumes?
Let's see. I'm sure there's probably some good write-ups on this on Twitter, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't see any metrics. No, here, I'll give it a look on Twitter. Give it a look on Twitter.
This might be the old add to the Sol utility watch list and
watch
add
for
a minimum.
developments. Yeah.
Yeah. Keep an eye on it.
Minted 33 Printo Worlds. We're in our own. So I don't get it, guys.
So use the token. It said bind price. So assuming you use the token to, on the platform in some way.
Web3 just got its first token / NFT marketplace.
Marketing generator.
That binds tokens to NFTs with a click of a button. Okay, so if I have a token, I can create an NFT collection for it. Is that how I'm understanding it? Marketing meme coins just got a whole lot better and more fun, all thanks to Binder. Okay. So what I'm assuming happened is if you have an NFT collection or you have a token, either or, you can bind that token to a meme or to an NFT collection, or you can bind an NFT collection to a meme coin to have some sort of like marketing tie there, like instant community, I guess. Yeah, honestly, not bullish on that. Not too bullish on that. Keeping it a buck with you boys.
Yeah, tough. I mean, unless it sees some real traction, it's like I did see Solana trying to reinvigorate past verticals like NFTs and gaming and whatnot. So who knows off of that? Dom?
What are you guys' thoughts on my interview yesterday? I went deep with Grok to try to understand how the model works. How I understand it's just like it's an SPV for each company, and that SPV holds the shares of the company, right? You know, so they would get the shares of the company. Let's say Kled gives the SPV 10% of the company, and then the SPV is tokenized and held by the holders, and then distributed pro rata on some sort of liquidity event. Is how I understand it at the baseline. I also don't think it's really important to understand exactly the ins and outs of it. I think that stuff is all kind of just like, I mean, you can if you really want to. But again, if you buy something on Robinhood, you're not, you know, going to figure out how the, you know, like you don't always think about who the broker is behind the scenes making the purchase. You don't think about what technically happens when you're holding something. You kind of just trust the platform. And so can Street just allow you to trust enough? The concept is buying private equity. How it happens, that's a different question. I'm pretty sure it's just an SPV though. Is that the structure you understand it to be, Josh?
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's an SPV. Yeah, I think people think that there's going to be like this magical like repricing. I don't know if that's the scenario unless you know, Maya's done some groundwork and, you know, lined up some people to say, okay, at this date and time, this is when the token becomes quote unquote more investable with the underlying equity, and maybe it does reprice, right? It's hard to say that it's going to spark a, you know, speculative run. I think what the play here is that I want to say Avi's been waiting for this to be done before really trying to do stuff. Like there's things, announcements, product updates that involve the token, you name it, that are waiting on the launch next week before they get revealed or pushed out. And I think that's more what your kind of potential angle is here, is if you don't own, you know, Kled, Orgo, et cetera, you know, maybe kind of the timeline gets a little noisy with Avi Patel again. You know, in a good way. And I mean that in the best of ways. And all of a sudden the street barbell kind of is interesting again and people are talking about it. So, I mean, the narratives of the companies that are in the SPV specifically are hot. They're good narratives. They're good companies.
Yeah.
Right. And then if he can, you know, at the end of the day, like he's got someone talking to liquid token funds, like he has a head of institutional. And I always thought that was kind of like the miss on some of these platforms is like, can you pick up the phone and kind of bag work for your tokens as the launch pad itself? Hey, these are our tokens. These are how our tokens work. Yeah, you should, you know, put 50K into it or whatever and add it to your cap table. We saw the one guy from, and I always bring this up as FinTech Collective bought Dupe, you know, and he's an actual institutional guy. And he said, hey, this is the first ICM coin we found investable because we like Dupe itself. And that trade turned out to be like really good for a while. But at the end of the day, yeah, the timeline needs to see proof of this, right? So
Crypto Jones says, does that mean it's a whales game? The biggest holders decide what happens with the SPV? Nope, these are non-voting shares.
No, and in fact, actually, Maya in the ERCS version 1, they pulled out a bunch of that kind of stuff because I think that was a barrier for follow-on capital.
Look, these founders don't want you deciding how they run their company. And like, honestly, you shouldn't have. Even today with Anna from Parental on, she said like, look, we understand in democratizing access, we don't we don't believe democratizing democracy. Like, hey, it's my company. I'm gonna make the best decisions for it. The holders don't always know what the best decisions are, and so no, you don't have voting shares. And I do think that's the best. Honestly, I don't think half the idiots holding CLED should have any say in what Avi does. So I think a lot of them have good ideas, but they're gonna have to suggest it. They're not gonna be able to vote on it. Again, it's private. It's like private equity, bro. These VCs don't have voting shares most of the time. Like if you're on the cap table, you have like no say most of the time. SPV is funded off M//U event, so theoretically nothing happens till some large event takes place. Then whales flood in and take control. The SPV is used. I don't know. And no, I just look. Yeah, it's gonna get liquidated if there's some sort of, like you said, big event, merger acquisition, some sort of liquidity event. Like an IPO. And that's when
the clear thing was he wanted to return liquidity back to the trenches. That's what he said. And he said that a couple times, right? And he said this mechanism, if there is a liquidity event, it would do that. And we know there's been times when companies go through raising rounds where either employees sell shares or previous founders sell shares. And the buying from the VCs in that round is not from net new shares created. It's actually from shares that are already on the cap table from those sources, or existing investors on the cap table may have provisions that they can exit pro rata with the other investors that are selling shares as well, right? And so that's where those shares come from. They're not net created. So there might be an opportunity where the SPV exits along the way. So let's say CLED raises at $1 billion, right? Which is a 3x from whatever Avi stated the last round was. There might be a provision there where the SPV has a mini little liquidity event, right? It might not be a full acquisition, might not be an IPO, but it's kind of an in-between, Series B kind of event, Series B liquidity event. So.
Yep. Ave X1XH LOL. Yeah, I think we're done with tickers today. Maybe I'll pull it up for you, but that's the last one. Tomorrow will be the day we'll look through some tickers. But yeah, Crypto Jones. I think the crux of the conversation is, bro, you're gonna have to trust. You're gonna have to trust the layer that got the ownership at some point, whether it's SOAR, whether it's Street, whether it's whoever, Bedrock. Like right now, we just don't have those security laws in place for crypto right now to trade private equity. So you're just gonna have to deal with the workarounds, but you can spend all day trying to understand it, or I don't know. I don't know. I think you just got to play the game. X1, we'll end with X1XH LOL. Got you. And you said X1XH LOL, or whatever the ticker is looking more and more interesting. Yeah, still the worst ticker in the world. But why do you think it's looking more interesting? Because of price, because of developments, kids sticking with it. What's got you? I really haven't been following all too close. I got them on the list, but to be honest, I haven't been spending my days trenching. Like I come on here, we do our stream. I do some calls, do some business development, but I'm not really in the trenches right now. The chart looks good, yeah. As long as they're still here, still delivering, I think the security angle is a big deal, and it's important. Protecting from prompt attacks is what they specialize in, for those that don't know. If agents are the future, they will need security. He's the only one doing this. Yeah, no, I think he's got a leg up. Clearly, he's a bright kid, 16 years old. Again, so he's doing prompt engineering attacks. So it's prompt-based attacks that he's trying to prevent for AI. Yeah, no, I think it's a valid thesis. You just need a return of liquidity, right? That's what we're waiting on. That's what we're waiting on for every project. The best projects, the worst projects, whatever. For them to have any meaningful price appreciation, sustained price appreciation, we need just a liquidity event. We need liquidity coming into the trenches. So
go see his latest tweet, Lucas Valbuena. He's building a public leaderboard. I know he just got he had a viral and that's what I think that pump is from a few days ago. But he basically published a report of all the vulnerabilities or something of all the public models, and people were going crazy at it. So he's got obviously what he's talking about is important, but I mean, look, it gets sold off every kind of, any sort of liquidity in this chart gets sold off. And that's more of a representation of the state of Solana than it is the project itself. Like,
yeah, Abe, I think that's the key. Find the good coins now, but that doesn't necessarily mean investing in them now. Like what even makes this rip at this point? It's either market turns around or like they literally get A16Z. Like, I don't know. There's a lot
even
of big
that,
news.
like Orgo round trip from
Yeah.
A16Z, and it's like
There's really nothing right now, guys.
I don't know how else to say it. Like, we can't magically will liquidity into this market, right? Like, there's got to be some event. So I think at the end of the day, Abe, this is what you do. You add these all to watch lists. I don't think there's any harm in, and this is not advice specifically to your situation, but there's not harm in having positions and things. It's just like, are you going to see something like this rip? And, are people that have been holding on to it for a while who bought it higher, are they going to try and sell into that? Is kind of what where we're in, and what breaks out of that, I don't know.
Yep. That's it.
That's
Crypto Jones kind of feels like the equity allocation to SPV is almost more symbolic than anything, not trying to FUD. But that's not true though. Like, it's actual equity from the company in the SPV. I'm not sure what research you've done or where you're reading this, but from what I found and what I understand, that's not at all the case. And of course,
it's real. It's real equity. Real value.
Yeah. Like Avi Patel had to go and set aside this equity.
Yeah.
Like, he had to say, I'm never going to sell this equity. It's no longer mine.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's no like way around it. I don't really know what you're getting at here. But no, and these are good questions. I just don't think you're right.
Like, think about it. Like, the equity on something like 10% on something like LED, maybe the single biggest person on the cap table one day, right? I mean, I'm assuming Avi, but there's companies where like the founder has maybe 10%, 5% of the company still, but the company's big. But the SPV one day might be the largest on the cap table. And that's why you can't have all these random crypto holders with like super leverage over the governance of the company. Because as the companies mature, you're buying a less and less percentage at a higher valuation.
Yep. Okay,
right,
boys.
Guys.
We appreciate you. As always, you guys are staying strong through these difficult times. All you got to do is be here. When the market turns around, you will be rewarded and it'll be fruitful. So, as always, we'll catch you. Peace.
Love you guys. See ya.